Bro, the Pelicans are trash. We are not. Listen, nobody's fooling me again. I'm not doing this. I'm not.
That's a great cold open. I'm going to open with that and include that.
Please,
Let's start.
Please let them know they're down 44 right now.
The cranium is crazy. Oh my god.
I mean, I really don't know what to say.
Crayon eaters rejoice.
What's up, everybody? As you see by the title, today we're going to be putting every NBA contender into a tier list. But before we get to that, we're currently recording the day after we recorded that main part of the pod because we're doing a live reaction to the in-season tournament semifinals. And as you hear by Donovan's reaction, the game is still going on, Lakers versus Pelicans. It's such an unbelievable blowout that we said, screw it, let's start early. The Pelicans are down by 44, and we have some thoughts. So before we get to the main pod, you're going to hear about it.
Absolutely. They're getting their cheeks clapped. But before, like you said, Isaac, we actually get to the real pod, 2 reminders for you guys. 1, every Monday, we're streaming live on YouTube, 8 p.m. Eastern time. Be there. Secondly, follow us on Twitter. Once you reach 10K followers on there, we're giving away an entire PS5 to one of you. We
Not
have
half a PS5, an entire one.
Exactly. Exactly.
There's a difference.
Right now we're at what? 5.7K or 5.8K followers right now?
Something like that.
Yeah, man. We're almost there.
Yep.
10K, it's yours.
Exactly. Yep. Keep all that in mind. Watch the streams. If you're watching on YouTube, do us a favor, drop a like and subscribe. I think when we say drop a like now or like the video, it glows in the bottom. So look at your screen right now if you're watching on desktop or mobile and drop a like. You should see it in rainbow on the button there. Go ahead and press that rainbow button. If you're on audio platforms, leave us a review, rate us 5 stars, all that. Yeah, man. Let's just jump straight into the in-season tournament reaction. Donovan, we opened this with you clearly being frustrated by the New Orleans Pelicans. Let's start with that game. Let us hear it.
Listen, I'm so confused right now because, and as you will hear later on in the pod, and what has kind of been bubbling up for the last couple of weeks is that the Pelicans and like the hype around the Pelicans it's been bubbling up, right? CJ was coming back, Trey Murphy was coming back, everybody was getting healthy, Zion was looking like he was coming back into form, and everything was looking like, hey, if this team is healthy and can play a couple games together, they might be a sneaky team in the Western Conference playoffs. And all of that may still happen. But to come out here today and to lose by 44 with a chance to get to the in-season tournament is absolutely ridiculous. LeBron and AD were hooping like this was like 4 years ago, like it was a title run. LeBron came out, taking what is it?
We saw a Steph. We saw a fuck you tonight.
4 from 4 from 3. 3 of those threes came on 3 straight possessions. The third of which was a heat check from the logo that he switched that bitch to make 3 in a row. He was on one. Looking like the most motivated I've seen Bron since the play-in game against the Suns from 2.5 years ago. This was clearly a game that he got up for whatever reasons. Maybe he wanted that $500K. Maybe he needed a new Rolls Royce. Maybe he needed to get tuition for his 3rd child. I don't know, but he wanted to win this game and make the in-season tournament, and it showed because he turned the fucking clock back. He was saying in the interview the other day that Father Time is undefeated. He wants to be the first one to give him a loss in a while. That's how he played tonight. He wanted that shit bad.
Wait, real quick, before we go and praise LeBron for the next 20 minutes. The fact, listen, that was corny. Can we agree with that? LeBron, LeBron, he knowing that he's about to say a bar and taking a pause and be like, y'all ready for it? Y'all ready for it? I'm ready to give Father Time his first loss. Shut up. Relax. You're forcing.
And he definitely
cooked
knew
that
he
before
was
the game for sure.
Oh yeah.
Fact.
Practicing in the mirror.
He knew he was recording for the documentary because he stopped and smirked to try to make it have some aura to it. He wasn't just trying to give him his first loss. He was trying to give him a loss.
That's gonna be hard at TikTok at literally next year, bro. Ugly ass.
But yeah, man. We had to get the first reaction there because the game just ended. Lakers are great. Pelicans not looking great tonight. But let's rewind and talk about the entire bracket stage of the in-season tournament. Before that, though, how are y'all feeling about it in general? What's your general vibe of the tournament? Are you bought in on this idea? Do you feel like the players care? Like, are you excited for the finals?
So my bad, y'all.
When this idea was first announced, I was like game for it. You know what I'm saying? If I remember correctly, Isaac, you're game for it. We absolutely saw nothing that could be lost from this situation other than just like trial. Worst thing that could happen is error. You know what I'm saying? At that point in time, you're just making things more exciting, more curious. But you know what I'm saying? A lot of people, Donovan's had to say you might fit in this category. You were just like, lame, just shit on change certain things, you know what I'm saying? The NBA change or whatever.
It wasn't even like that.
You're like, who the hell is going to watch the Charlotte Hornets versus the Washington Wizards? That's not the big picture. What we witnessed tonight, that first in-season game, and a couple nights ago, seeing them go against who the Pacers go against a couple nights ago. Was it the New York Knicks, I believe?
No, they played the Celtics.
Celtics, there we go. I forgot. Yeah, the Celtics, like those, that's like the bigger picture of the in-season tournament. You know what I'm saying?
Mock him again. Run it up. Get him out of here.
Go ahead. You guys say your stuff.
Old man, bozo, scared to change.
Okay, cool. So there's two points I have to make. One of them is that I was wrong in that it is much cooler than what I thought it was going to be, and there was a lot more buy-in initially than in like year one than I thought it was going to be. Two, I'm still low-key right in that. Listen, if we're just playing for bread, like, okay, I guess like that stakes. But my biggest thing that I kind of extrapolated across everything was, what are the stakes? And I still think that is something that like can be addressed going into next year. I think that there can be a little bit more on the line rather than just $500,000. So like we can see that. So I'm defending myself on that, but it's a good thing that the league is doing this. It's exciting. These games have been fun. The Hornets Wizards games, they've been a little bit better with the cool courts. Like it's been a good thing.
Yeah. And we don't want to get caught up on rehashing this at all.
Yeah.
But I guess the point Adam Silver probably is thinking is that like they don't want to put too much incentive behind it, because as you see players are caring, this means something to them. And as that goes on for many years, fans will start to care. So he'd probably say, well, what are the stakes for a finals? You know, like it's bragging rights. You want to win a trophy. There's something, it's a championship you want to win. That's why you play the game. They probably view this as that same thing. It's just a second part of that where it's just an accomplishment. And it's why you suit up, you know?
Yeah, that's fair.
Exactly.
But either way, these games have been great, like we said. Let's start with the full-on breakdowns with Pacers versus why am I blanking now? Versus Bucks.
Yes.
The headline from this game is Tyrese Halliburton is him. In the tier list you guys are going to hear after this that we recorded yesterday, we talked about the Pacers, and we talked about like not necessarily having faith in them to like win multiple playoff series or anything. They're not like real quote-unquote contenders. But we are all in on Tyrese being that guy, which if that's going to continue to be the case, you never know what you're going to get from them any night, and you never know what you're going to get from them any series. That was all confirmed tonight.
Mo?
Man, Tyrese Halliburton. I think in this tier list video, or maybe it was a podcast prior to that, I said that this dude is a new age, new era point guard, and that title only goes to players who are just masters at managing the game on the offensive end on every single level possible, no matter what type of defense is thrown at you. Now, yes, of course, like still hasn't been to the playoffs yet and all that, and I don't want to say that Tyrese Halliburton is, you know what I'm saying, the actual point guard when we have to see him go ahead and go through these next feats. But we're watching this legit superstar leap, and he's doing things that only some of the greatest game managers of all time, like Chris Paul, who was called point guard, and also fucking LeBron James, do over the last 15, 20 years. You know what I'm saying? Crazy stat for you guys. The only players to have more 20-point games, 10 assist games with 0 turnovers than Tyrese Halliburton is LeBron James and, of course, Chris Paul. They both have, I believe, 8 or 10 or whatever. Tyrese Halliburton has 7 to his name. He's tied alongside Steve Nash and all those other guys, but this dude is like 22, 23 right now. And he's already reached those feats hella times this season also, too. So,
yeah,
that just goes to show how talented he is.
You mentioned you want to calm down, giving him any broad proclamations because he hasn't had a playoff run yet. Honestly, I don't really give a fuck. I think we can say that he's made the superstar leap. He's made the same leap that we saw Shai Gilgeous-Alexander make last year, where we were like, by the time the All-Star break came around and he was selected to an All-Star team, we knew he was going to be an All-NBA player. We knew this guy was pushing top 10 conversations. We don't really got to wait to see team success. Like, you can just tell that something's different. That's the case with Tyrese Halliburton. I remember a few days ago, I saw a tweet. I forgot who tweeted it. Someone tweeted Tyrese Halliburton might be a top 5 point guard already. And I quoted it. I was like, I don't know. That might be conservative. I think we might have to fire up top 3 conversation soon. After tonight, and we saw him just little brother Damian Lillard, despite being 8 years younger, I don't know how we can't have top 3 conversations for him.
This is what the in-season tournament is about, right? If we want to talk about stakes, the stakes are agendas will be pushed. And the agenda that you're gonna get from us moving forward is that Tyrese is a top 3 point guard consistently. Like, for him, like, he came out and he was hitting floaters over Brook Lopez consistently. He was pushing the pace. And again, like Mo just said, he doesn't turn the ball over ever. And to be able, like, for the Pacers to play as fast as they do, to play as wide open as they do, and Tyrese to have the ball in his hands as much as he does, and to not make mistakes, and to be as efficient as they are, that's amazing, right? And so I'm gonna say this man carried the Pacers to an in-season tournament final. He's out here doing it, right? Your favorite players could never. And I'm extremely happy to see Tyrese like make this leap and be able to play in games that are meaningful. And the one thing that everybody has been, saying this entire run is at the beginning of the season, when people were asking Tyrese about the in-season tournament, he said, yeah, I love it. Like, I've never won anything in this league. It's going to give me an opportunity to compete. And he's showing everybody, just give me a chance. Just give me a chance. And I will go out there and drop 30 and 10, 28 and 10, whatever he did tonight. And it's going to be fantastic.
27 points, 7 rebounds, 15 assists, 57.9% from the field, 0 turnovers.
And he hit the Dame time too.
Yep.
Add that to the stat line.
100%. And aside, even like, we're focusing on Tyrese Halliburton. It wasn't just him. Miles Turner was also incredible. And that connection is really what drove their offense. He had Miles Turner looking like Anthony Davis on the roll. Like, they were just dicing up the Bucks defense and dunk after dunk for Miles Turner, which is, their collaboration together. But what was interesting to me was, they went into halftime up 12. For the reasons you said, they were just coming out. Great offense. He was finishing over Brook Lopez at the rim. There's actually one play specifically where he hit a hard finger roll layup off the glass to go to over him. And Reggie Miller was like, look at that. Easy one. Just, routine commentary. And Doris Burke was like, listen, you are the Hall of Famer, Mr. Reggie Miller. You can say that's easy. For all of us, that shit did not look easy. And that's exactly how I felt, because it looked so routine for him. But that's an incredibly difficult thing to do over someone who just was second in Defensive Player of the Year last year. Like, Brook Lopez is not an easy target on the rim. And Tyrese Halliburton was going at him, going at Giannis, doing the normal pick and roll stuff with no resistance the whole first half. But in the second half, we saw, the Bucks are the Bucks still, and they made that run. And the fact that the game ended with Tyrese Halliburton getting to the rim, blown by Brook Lopez, and then hitting a step back 3 to make them go up 5 from 7. What was it? They were up 9 to go up to 14 with those 5 points to seal the game. That was like superstar shit to me.
Yeah, exactly. And he caught on to what they were trying to do in the fourth quarter, which is, I don't know why Adrian Griffin. We're going to talk about that a little bit later, but they're running it appeared to be a 2-3 zone, and Tyrese noticed that, and he was just feasting QB mode, like Patrick Mahomes mode, and he was just getting into Peyton whenever he wanted, or passing it out and orchestrating the offense on that end as well, and once he saw that, it was pretty much game over. And that also, the Milwaukee Bucks woes also helped like put a nail to the coffin. You know what I'm saying? So Tyrese's mind and how he sees the game, which appears to be in slow-mo with how calculated every single decision that he makes, is phenomenal. And it's only something that we've seen a few times in NBA history. His mind, at least, in display that he's putting out. And that's rare.
Yeah, for sure. It's funny you say slow-mo, because like that's the opposite of what he's doing. It feels that way to him, but like the whole thing's making them crazy is that they're just so fucking fast, and he's so fucking fast and can just think the game faster than everybody else. It's like their whole point, their whole like ethos as a team is that, like, listen, you can score. They're not a very aggressive defense. They kind of like let you get to your spots, and they just play very fundamental, not a lot of trapping or anything. It's like they want you to shoot fast because they know they're going to shoot faster and be better at going fast and just out sprint you to the end of the game. And it works.
Yeah, man. It is interesting though, because they've had one of the worst defenses in the league, but over these last 2 games of like tournament play, the defense still hasn't been like elite, obviously, but the effort has been there. And it's very interesting because it gives me a little bit of hope for the Pacers moving forward, because now it's like I know that level of at least intensity and effort is in there. And so once we start getting later in the season, I want to see that. Like this is something that I'm going to be expecting from this team once we get into play-in tournament season, playoff season and all that stuff. So it's whether they win or lose the tournament, this 6-game stretch that they've had is extremely encouraging on all fronts.
Yeah, sure. Man.
Yeah.
I would say real quick, this is not even, they played a great game, hit about their season average or whatever, but they didn't even shoot well from the 3-point line at all. They shot 21%. You know what I'm saying? They didn't get to the rim, obviously, as much as the Milwaukee Bucks. And that fourth quarter right there, it should put each and every one of us into perspective as to how potent this entire team is. And bro, like, Tyrese is the starter of it for sure. He is the conductor of it. Don't get this shit wrong. But also having a team with so many consistent and reliable guards like Buddy Hield, Bruce Brown, Andrew Nembhard before he went down or whatever. That TJ McConnell, like, that goes a long way as well. These are some of the better guards, better bench players in the NBA that they have just along his backside to help carry the offense and make it afloat. I don't want to say it almost at all times because they lose a lot of games once Tyrese is sitting down, obviously. That's like a part of their woes. But when he's on and he can play alongside a TJ or whoever it is, bro, they don't make a lot of mistakes. This offense doesn't make a lot of mistakes. They're so coordinated with every move.
For sure.
Yeah.
How did y'all feel about the game from the Bucks' perspective?
I think free time is over. Free time.
Oh, okay.
Obviously, it's not over. It's not over.
Yeah.
I'm playing.
I thought it wasn't. I mean, like, Dame didn't shoot super well, but like I let the game, like, I feel like they played fine. The Pacers just like clutched up and like won the shootout. But I know, Mo, you alluded to it a couple hours ago during the Lakers game. There was a report that came out from Chris Haynes that Bobby Portis had, I think the word used was altercation or confrontment, whatever it was, with Adrian Griffin in the locker room after. And I read the article, and what happened was Adrian Griffin was like doing his normal coach stuff, like telling the players what we got to do better. And Bobby Portis spoke up and was like, you got to do better too. The offense was unorganized in the fourth quarter. So when I read the article, I didn't really feel like it was anything. Yeah. But I guess that's like fuel to the fire of some people finding a reason to, like, have, like Donovan said, the season tournament is for narratives. And you can easily spin this into a narrative that the Bucks are in trouble.
Exactly.
Do y'all feel that way?
A narrative that hasn't been pushed, but tonight that motherfucker has been lit on fire.
I've been saying it that like, despite the record, that I don't think that they are as good as their record indicates. They're 15-6 right now. They're a game behind the Celtics for first place in the East. Yet when you watch them, I just don't think that they are at the same point in the race as the Celtics. I don't think that they are at a very like solid point in their development. I think that they're still very early and that there's a lot of things that they have to work out. And I'm gonna take this out. I'm gonna run with it. Listen. I know. I listen. Well,
so
it's only been an hour since the game, so I haven't had enough time to fully run with it. I promise you, next week I got y'all.
They're fine.
It's gonna be nasty.
Fine.
Listen,
they're gonna fall apart.
I believe they are fine, but to the heights that they should be at, they're not fine at all. Yeah. A coach's job in the NBA is to put your players in the perfect position, the best position to win. And on a consistent basis so far this season, Adrian Griffin appears to not do that whatsoever. Why in the fourth quarter? They lost this game in the fourth quarter, okay? They played okay throughout the first, second, whatever, third quarter. They eliminated that run because Damian Lillard went absolutely berserk and he came back to life or whatever. But if you watch that fourth quarter, it's a lot of things. Of course, some like rosters flaws. They need a pointed attack defender and all that other good stuff. But there's things like deeper than that. Why do I see guys like Chris Middleton consistently bringing the ball up? Meanwhile, Giannis and Damian Lillard are just lingering on the court and they're playing more of an off-ball role. You know what I'm saying? Why do I see Chris Middleton taking that type of assertiveness? You know what I'm saying? And that's by design. It's not Chris Middleton just being like, oh, that's not him. That's not his play style whatsoever. That's something that's by design, and that needs to be questioned by Adrian. What were you going to say?
I will push back on that a little bit just because, like, one, like if Giannis is off ball, like that's perfectly fine. He's not a ball handler in that way. Right. So if Giannis is off ball and you want to bring him into the action on like a pick and roll or do something like that, that's fine. Right. Even with Dame, if Dame is off ball, if you have Damian Lillard in the corner and you run a pick and roll, even if it's not with Giannis and you run it with Brook, that spacing is going to let Chris Middleton go. And honestly, I'd much rather, I know Dame is going to get his. I know Giannis is going to get his. I'd actually kind of prefer for Chris Middleton to be aggressive because I know that we're going to need him. Adrian Griffin really only played 8 guys today, right? Their rotation is not deep. And so they're going to need Chris Middleton to get into his rhythm a lot. And so him bringing the ball up, I'm cool with that. And even whenever they had Drew Holiday, he was a facilitator for their offense. So this isn't anything.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. My only alarming thing is like now you have someone, you don't have Drew Holiday anymore. You have someone several heights above that. It's the consistency in which Chris Middleton did that. And I'm sure that's not a him thing. That's a coaching thing, and seeing how waffly Damian Lillard was off the ball, just not making really any hard cuts or any real movement, and Giannis doing the same thing. That is alarming.
Waffly.
You know what I'm saying? Another thing that's alarming.
His vocab bag is deep today.
Yeah,
seeing
that out.
seeing the deep penetration that Tyrese Halliburton was doing because his base is to that 2-3 zone, and then Adrian Griffin just being like, "Yeah, hold on to that."
Was not needed.
It's fucking nuts. You know what I'm saying? I feel so bad for Milwaukee Bucks fans because Adrian right now is running this team as if they have
he's running it into the ground. Tell him
talent. Not running into the ground, but it's like he's not utilizing the talent that he has on this team. It's bad.
Question.
Now,
listen,
the only reason why they're not that bad is because Giannis and Dame is Dame, and they're going to produce their numbers.
Question.
You're tripping. Giannis and Dame have 2 of the highest usage rates in the league. It's just hard to get used to playing with each other when you're 2 alpha guys. And it's not that like Adrian Griffin is just fucking twiddling his thumbs. It just takes a lot of adjustment from both of them that like you get over time.
Mo, wait, Mo, I have a question for you. Is Adrian Griffin on David Blatt time?
Nah, I wouldn't say David Blatt time because they're not like, that's crazy.
Is he getting out?
I wouldn't say David Blatt time. He doesn't have LeBron. If he had LeBron in his coach, for sure, he's cooked. You know what I'm saying? But Giannis is not LeBron. He's not that type of personality.
That's a big adjustment. I heard there's an article actually written by the Athletics Bucks reporter today that I read. Was incredible. I retweeted it. If you guys want to go check it out, if you have an Athletic subscription, that is, I would highly recommend you go read it. It was an article where they interviewed Giannis, Adrian Griffin, and Damian Lillard and did like a film breakdown of why their pick and rolls haven't been like this unstoppable force that we all thought it would be. And like Dame explains it, like, and Giannis explain it like in incredible detail in that. And they're basically talking about how teams when Dame runs a pick and roll, that is, they hard double him, throw traps. And then obviously he dumps it down to Giannis, who catches the ball like at the free throw line and immediately has a help defender in his face. And Giannis isn't used to that because previously when he's running pick and rolls, it wasn't with the guard that was getting trapped. So it was more of like a normal coverage. So whenever they do that, Giannis would like catch the ball down low and just like not know what to read because he's never been in those situations in his life. So they realized you got to like do a deeper pick and roll so that Giannis can catch it with more space to operate without the center in his mouth. So, whoa, pause. But it's stuff like that like comes with repetitions of like knowing where to be on the court just because like you aren't that's not the type of usage that Giannis had in previous seasons with the guards that were next to him. Mm-hmm. That type of stuff just needs time. I think they'll be fine.
Yeah. My only alarming thing is the frequency of that. That's the only thing. Like I see what you're saying, and that makes so much sense. But even if you're running a different type of pick and roll, why don't you run that more often?
Yeah, well, that's because
That's it.
Yeah. Either way, I know what you mean. It'll come over time, and they have to figure out a lot of stuff still. And right now, like you guys are saying that right now they're not currently the level contender like the Celtics. Undeniable. If the end of season Bucks are gonna be so much better. End of season Bucks will probably have won this game if they were that good now.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is,
what's up?
last thing, Bobby Portis is the wrong person to get into an altercation with. Listen, Nikola Mirotic, he is texting that man Adrian Griffin right now. Tell him please make some changes.
That's funny. What do y'all? Okay, so let's move on to the next game. What are y'all thoughts concretely about Pelicans versus Lakers? Are you concerned about the Pelicans? Let's start there.
Nah.
Concerned. Maybe honestly, like maybe long term. Just because we've had these questions for a while, and this game isn't like the reason why. Obviously, that I would feel this way, but we've had these conversations about the fit between BI and Zion. We've had these conversations about, are there too many cooks in the kitchen? Why? How does like Jonas Valanciunas fit into all of this? And they're a very weird team. And I think that a lot of things need to go right for them to reach their full potential. And in the NBA, it's very hard for everything to align at the same time. And so I think that they're going to have to make some moves and kind of restructure everything and really figure out if Zion is obviously he is going to be the person that they choose, if it's going to be between him or BI, but they have to figure out what direction they want to go in.
Yeah. I'm concerned about playoff Zion, what that's going to look like, specifically with him next to Jonas Valanciunas, because tonight we saw the Lakers, we talked about earlier, LeBron was incredibly engaged. That was also defensively. The way they had LeBron guarding Zion, being the main guy, sagging off of him and really forcing him to finish over LeBron with the head of steam, which is not easy to do when your defender's LeBron James, who's also incredibly strong. One of the few guys in the league that Zion isn't faster and stronger than necessarily.
Yeah.
And they were guarding him one-on-one with LeBron, with AD helping, obviously. Jonas Valanciunas is in the dunker spot, so AD is close by to help off of him. So Zion isolations were just not a thing. Zion got 8 shot-ups this game. He was 6 for 8, was wildly efficient like Zion always is. He's Mr. Efficiency Man. But he could not get to his spots and get shots because he had these 2 big forwards that were down there locking him up with no spacing because he's not playing next to a true spacing big. And Zion isn't an elite passer, and he can't really shoot. He can get his little floaters up. Like he did one mid-range pull-up over LeBron, and LeBron just kind of laughed. Even though Zion made it, it was like, what the fuck was that? It looked awkward. But like, that's not his bag. He doesn't feel comfortable doing that. So I'm a bit concerned on what it's going to look like throughout a whole playoff series if people just do that exact same thing. If you put Aaron Gordon on him and then have Jokic roaming ready to help him, what is he going to do in that situation? Because he's not a player with a ton of counters.
I think a counter that Zion has in his game is his passing ability. I would say it tends to be underrated. He's not the best passer in the NBA or the best passer at his position. Not one of the 10 or 15. You know what I'm saying? But it still is a strength of his game. But you mask those strengths when you put a bunch of big ass Jonas Valanciunas in this case. You put a bunch of big ass trucks in front of him. There are no passing lanes. He can't get anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Everywhere is clogged up. And of course, like Brandon Ingram, he's like, I don't know, top 10 in the NBA in drives per game. That's a big part of his game. And of course, Zion, that's all he does. And Jonas Valanciunas naturally is going to feast in the paint. Of course, now he has to stretch his game out to the 3-point line. And he has been good over the entirety of the season. But overall, I'm going to agree with you. Like, in order for them to make, I don't want to say a playoff run, but be a productive playoff team, make a productive playoff appearance, they're going to have to find some type of big who can shoot that you can put in place of Jonas Valanciunas, who's competent enough.
Yeah, like Jonas is a great offensive player. They have Larry Nance when he's healthy that gives him more of a defensive look there and can do a little more mobility from that position, but he's not a shooter either. So the only answer they have on the roster right now is to put Zion at center. And I saw a tweet that said, I have never seen Zion get a defensive stance and get low in his entire career. And I agree. That man is so upright and so straight, gets blown by every time. The second bucket of the game was D'Lo blowing by him in an ISO.
Yeah.
I was like, I know what time the game is going to be.
Cement feet.
You can't play Zion at center. You can't play him at center. Your defense will be Swiss cheese. So I say, I don't think there's any answers to their biggest problems on their roster right now, which concerns me long term.
Kelly Olynyk, please come through.
That'd be dope. That'd be a good fit.
One day.
Listen, 44 is just ridiculous. Listen. I still just can't get over it. Also, this is very weird because last night the Jazz lost by 50, and there's a lot of these games where people are getting blown out. You need to show up, and I'm just very disappointed. You had
They gave up.
You had $500,000 on the line, and you get blown out by 44 points as a professional.
And there was nothing could have deal with that.
Bro,
You know
he
what?
had an interview. It was a pregame interview with him and Brandon Ingram. And someone asked BI, what are you going to do? What are you guys going to do once you get that $500K? And they both had like that close friend, best friend moment where they both looked at each other and just started busted out laughing. And I ain't going to lie, Zon, we all know what happened over the past few months during the summer. Nasty man. So
he was up to something diabolical planned.
Yeah, exactly.
Listen, he's in Las Vegas. If he would have won, they would have been in Las Vegas with $500,000.
Oh my God, he would have blew that bitch in one night.
So we got a young fan base. Some of them probably don't understand the implications of what's being said, but just know Zion would have been up to no good.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, man. Back to basketball. Maybe the Lakers are just a really good matchup for them, having LeBron James and AD as your two forward combos. Because again, the whole thing is like LeBron's old, so and so. When he locks in like tonight, he is still a really good defender. And it reminded me a lot of the 2020 game before the season ended, halfway through, where they played the Bucks. Remember they beat the Bucks and the Clippers in back-to-back games, and Giannis was defended half and half by AD, half and half by LeBron, and they just punked him. Like it was just physical. The way that 2020 Lakers team won every game, they were just more physical than you, had a top-tier defense, and just paint matched the whole game. They did that to the Bucks and defended Giannis the same way they did tonight against Zion. And that makes me think maybe this Lakers team has that top gear of defense to get into once we see them get more healthy with their ring rotation. I'm feeling confident in them.
Yeah, listen, I think that, and we can move to the final because now the final is the Lakers and the Pacers on Saturday. Yes. I'm going with the Lakers. I think. Okay. I think that Indiana, and while they have been like playing fast, you see that the way these games are going towards the end of the game, once the intensity like kicks up, it starts to slow down just a little bit. I think once you get there, it favors a locked in LeBron and a locked in AD. And the defense and the switchability that the Lakers have to put on Indiana, I think they're going to be able to slow them down enough, get the first in-season tournament, add that notch to LeBron's legacy, do all that stuff.
Add the notch to LeBron's legacy. That's hilarious.
I'm going to use this against my GOAT argument. Yeah, that's hilarious. Yeah. Honestly, if I was to predict who would win between the two, I think I would lean towards the Indiana Pacers. Doesn't matter what type of defense you put on them. Tyrese Halliburton is going to facilitate the fuck out of this game and just figure out a way to win. And honestly, also, I think the Lakers have a harder time getting up shots, getting up those attempts, and I don't know if they'll be able to keep up with such an explosive offense. You know what I'm saying? Now, I don't imagine a world in where they're going to necessarily like struggle. I don't think it's going to be a blowout for the Lakers. But my predictions, I think the Pacers are going to win by like 12. Solid 12, you know what I'm saying? Oh my God. Full on munch mode. Let's do it.
You know who I'm fucking picking to win.
I literally looked down for 2 seconds and he has an outfit change. Get out of here. Get out of here. Right now.
You know who I'm fucking picking to win.
Right now, the Lakers are favorites right now to win. To win the in-season tournament.
What are the odds?
They are 3.5 point favorites.
Listen, spent a lot of time to start this pod talking about Tyrese Halliburton is him, second coming, top 3-point guard in the league, probably pushing top 10. He is absolutely the superstar level player that you want to see and want to bet on to win an in-season tournament. It doesn't fucking matter. The Lakers are winning by 20.
All right.
Gross.
Defense wins games.
That's wild.
That was nuts. What the fuck?
Do you know what you're doing right now?
Hey, that's ridiculous. That's crazy. That was just uncalled for.
Hey man,
gross.
Let's move on. Let's get to this tier list.
Gross.
Let's get to this.
That's just raunchy.
Oh,
that was crazy.
Doing wild.
I'm about to transition, y'all. Where you're gonna try and travel back to yesterday.
Please.
We'll talk to y'all later.
Oh my God.
welcome to yesterday. Now that we got that in-season tournament stuff out of the way, whatever we said, we don't know yet. It's currently Wednesday. Now we're going to do the part of the pod that you saw in the title. We're going to put every NBA contender into a tier list. I think this is going to be real fun.
This is what we do. We are about tier list. This is our bread and butter, right? I'm very excited to get into this because I already know. And listen, I know for a fact we're not even going to get caught up on who's S tier, right? We're not going to get caught up on who's A tier. We are going to spend a majority of this pod on who is a D tier contender versus a C tier contender, and two teams that don't even have chances to win an actual NBA title.
Facts. We're gonna debate the shit out of the New York Knicks, the Orlando Magic, all these people that have no chance of winning. That's gonna be the main thing we're talking about.
You know what? That's what makes us professional tier listers. We graduated college, whole 4 years to make professional tier list on the app YouTube. This is gonna be phenomenal.
Facts. Professional rankers is hilarious. That's what we do. real discourse time over here.
Hell yeah, man. This is what real men do.
But yeah, man, the teams that we picked are essentially the top 8 to 9 in every conference. We put teams on here, gave them benefit of the doubt if they're just in the mix and have somewhat of a chance. Like I said, the Orlando Magic are on here because they're starting strong. None of us are going to pick them to ever make the finals, but they deserve to be in the conversation. So it ranges from teams like that all the way down to the Warriors are on here, even though the 10 seed because of the Warriors. And then obviously the top teams, the Nuggets, Celtics, all that. Where do y'all want to start?
Man.
Do we want to start with Orlando? Listen, because it's going to be a two-edged sword because like you just said, we want to give them their props and I want to big them up. But at the same time, let's be real. Like they're just not going to win the championship this year. But we should start off. I feel like we should start off talking about them, what's like been making them go. And then
know what we should do actually?
Move on.
Let's do Orlando first as the first big discussion point. But let's start off by what teams are automatically S tier. It's set the standard first.
Okay.
I feel that is it. So Nuggets and Celtics are S tier, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, Nuggets, Celtics, sure.
Is it just them?
I would kick in the Bucks because they've been whipping ass as of late. Not in the ways that, we would expect them to whip ass, but they're still doing so. And they've been looking pretty unstoppable as of late. So I would put them at S because I know at the end of the season they'll be there. But as of today, we still have to see a little bit more. But I'll defer to you guys.
Sounds to me like Magic, I'm sorry. The Bucks are about to be our first big conversation because Donovan, I feel like you disagree.
I came into this knowing that this was going to be a talking point.
Yeah.
And because obviously like it was one in our power rankings episode. You guys were getting on me talking about, listen, they were at the winning games doing all this stuff. Like, how do you not have them in your top 10? I think that they are A tier. Like, that's where I think they are right now. If you tell me they are S tier simply because they have this amazing ceiling with Giannis and Dame, I'm cool with that. And if that's where we want to go, I'm okay. But I think that there are a couple things in terms of like the way that they're playing that could put them in A, but I can see the argument for S. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Mo is very clearly S tier. He's the highest on them out of all three at this point in the season, I think. It was the case in the power rankings. You're the lowest. I'm somewhere in the middle. I came into the season probably the highest of us three, actually. I was like, I think they're not pretty easily, but they're, for me, clear-cut favorites as they come out of the East before the season started. Mm-hmm. Now I'm leaning towards the Celtics. So I'm between y'all. I'll be the tiebreaker. I'll let y'all convince me. Mo, why do you think they should be S tier?
Me personally, I'll put them in S tier because over the last few games, I've seen Chris Middleton look a lot more like Chris Middleton. It all started a week and a half ago against the Miami Heat. He had like a solid, 17 points against them. And then, last night we just watched them. Was it last night or was it 2 nights ago? I don't remember, but
on Tuesday, whenever they played the Knicks.
Yeah.
Tuesday
tournament game.
Yeah, there you go. On Tuesday night, he had a pretty solid game. Put up 12, 14 points, good efficiency, and that level of Chris Middleton is just enough for them to become serious contenders. Now, obviously, the Bucks aren't the Bucks of the old. They have a new play style and a whole new just prerogative out there on the court. They're more offensive. Yeah, they're more offensive oriented. And I don't know how I feel about that because you still have Brook Lopez who's averaging basically three blocks a game, and he's been fucking fantastic for the start of the season. He was a big concern, and now he's elite. He's the most elite version of Brook Lopez role player status. So yeah, man, like I love the Bucks and I love the way that they're playing right now. So I have to put him in.
2.8 blocks a game right now for Brook Lopez.
That's insane.
That's pretty great, especially when you think about the fact that they started the season not putting him in a traditional drop coverage that he's been dominant in. They started the season trying to play like the Raptors were last year under Adrian Griffin and playing this really aggressive hedging defense that just didn't work. Then they had the little mini mutiny and we're like, coach, we got to let Brook do his thing. And yeah, it's worked. But the problem there is that's worked. Brook is still the shot blocking dominant force of the rim he's always been. Their defense is still 21st in the league right now. So I'm leaning towards S2 for what you said. They're a very different team with, to use your vocabulary word, different prerogative, because they're top 3 in offense, 21st in defense, which is just, the polar opposite of what we've seen from them for recent years. I think when it comes down to it, I'm going to trust that in a playoff series, they can figure out how to have a good enough defense. And we're seeing that you mentioned Chris Middleton in that last game against the Knicks. I was more concerned with the fact that we saw the Giannis and Dame pairing really come alive on offense and look like what you'd want it to look like. Giannis had 35 and 10, I think 10 assists and 8 rebounds or something like that. Yeah, that's what it was. And then Damian Lillard, 28 points, 7 assists, was raining from 3. Really, that's kind of the story of that game. They made 1,000,000 threes. It was just they look like the Celtics on their good days where they make 43s a game and you're just getting flooded even though you're playing a good game as the Knicks.
It was ridiculous.
That gives me encouragement that this team can be really good even with their defensive deficiencies talent-wise.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, and I'll come back. And here's my thing. It's not that I don't think that they can be S tier, but I think that they should be an A right now because both Denver and Boston are both top 5 in net rating right now. Like they are more complete on both sides of the ball than Milwaukee is. And I think that in terms of like how their teams are, their systems, they have more continuity than what Milwaukee is and what Milwaukee has right now.
For sure.
And we're still seeing the Bucks put things together. And so if the playoffs started today, I would feel more comfortable with those two teams fighting for the championship because Milwaukee and like Mo said, they've been amazing over the last 10 games. They've put a lot of the pieces together and they're starting to look like the team that we thought they were. But like you said, they're still 21st in defense. So there's still a lot that they have to overcome. And so that's why I think right now they're A and they're not on that level.
That's fair. So I guess the question is are y'all, okay, so we need to take a step back. For this tier list, the point is Contenders tier list. Mm-hmm. It's not power rankings based on what we've seen so far this season. Are we projecting on who we think has the best chance of winning the finals? Which if we're doing that, that would mean we're projecting to what we think they'll look like at the end of the season? Or are we doing it based on what we've seen this year without projecting? That's like really important to clarify.
I think the tiebreaker has to be the tiebreaker it has to be projecting. If we're talking about contenders, we're talking about the NBA championship. That's the last thing that we're going to see. And that's what we're doing all of this for. So
there we go. The Bucks are S tier. Sorry, you said it. The Bucks are S tier.
Yeah, we'll put them in S tier.
There we go. Love to see it.
Honestly, I was probably always going to do that anyways, just because I'm dying on this hill, but it had to be fair.
You ain't alone. I'll die right with you.
Yeah, I'm dying betting on Giannis and Dame. I'll do it. I'll stand there.
That's fine.
There's a lot of things I don't stand 10 toes on. I'll go back and forth based on new information. I'm standing with Giannis and Dame. I don't care.
Okay.
I'll flip-flop on some shit, but not this.
Yeah.
What do y'all want to do with the Timberwolves? Do they deserve S tier based on how dominant they've been?
Well, okay, you don't have to say that. We all know, we all want to respect the Timberwolves. We all obviously have been surprised and they surpassed all of our expectations, regardless of how good and how much we wanted to believe in and Sleep and Rudy Gobert. Continuing to uphold the status of being one of the greatest defenders in the paint of all time and all that stuff. But
facts.
They're not S tier, sadly. I don't think anyone would put any reasonable money to bet on them that they'll win a championship. Now, I think A tier may be a real conversation for them, but S tier is like...
Oh, no, they're minimum A. They have to be A. What we've seen, how do I phrase this? We were very down on them coming into the year. We've more than admitted we were wrong. I think all, I don't know about you, Moa, for what you just said, but all high on them now and realize they're a legitimately great team that have figured out how to mask most of their deficiencies and have greater strength than they did last year. That to me, I don't think it's crazy if you put them in S. I think you can easily project a world where their defense maintains in the playoffs Anthony Edwards continues to be a go-to ball handler that has enough playmaking chops and shot creation chops to survive in a playoff atmosphere. Jaden McDaniels anchors their defense, and he wasn't there for the last playoff run. The big man depth of Naz Reid. I think they have enough pieces, barring Cat doesn't have a meltdown, that they can be an S-tier team. I also don't think it's crazy to put them in A because they still have Cat and they still have Gobert, and we've seen these groupings of players not work out in playoff settings before.
Cat has been phenomenal this year so far too.
Exactly.
He has been. But the same way that you guys are making the bet for Giannis and Dame on the Bucks, and you guys want to do that, I am not going to do that for Cat. I don't think that he has. For real, I don't think that he has earned that type of
I think it's funny.
Oh my God.
That's actually
you can take the Apple Watch off. Every fucking episode Siri talks to, take that shit off.
Episodes.
That's actually crazy.
So I think it's funny. It's ridiculous.
Throw her across the room.
No, she's too smart. She's too smart.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't feel comfortable betting on Cat in a playoff series. And so that's why I don't think that they should be S right now.
All right, well, counterpoint.
What's up?
Counterpoint, they have enough going for them that it's not really betting on Cat. It's betting on everybody else. Cat can afford to play poorly, I think. They're not so live and die by his shooting performances like they have been in previous iterations of this team. They have Naz Reid. They have Rudy Gobert. Crazy depth there. They wouldn't do this, but they could close a game without Karl-Anthony Towns and be A-okay. Assuming Jaden McDaniels and Naz Reid are healthy like they weren't last year, they aren't live and die by Cat, I don't think.
I understand that, but when Cat is that much of an integral part of your team, you still, in terms of winning a championship, you are asking Karl-Anthony Towns to be good for 2 straight months in the playoffs, and I don't know if he has that in him. This team hasn't made it out of the first round in the last 2 years. Obviously, different construction each time, and this version looks like the best version of them. But the other teams that we've seen, the Celtics have made the finals. The Nuggets have won a championship, and Giannis, Brook, and Chris Middleton have won a championship as well. They have earned some type of goodwill that the Timberwolves just haven't yet, and so that's why I don't want to put them in S.
That's fair, and it's not like we're not shitting on them, making them an A-tier contender. It's not exactly a slight, for a team that's never been there.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing for me I'll be worried about is I think their defense is going to give them a floor that they're going to be incredibly hard to eliminate regardless. But I think when they're matching up, listen, this all comes down to them playing Denver. We all know the conference goes through them. They're going to see them in the conference finals if they can make it that far.
Mm-hmm.
I have a little bit of worries about their half-court offense being able to maintain in a playoff setting where, listen, in the regular season now, Cat's eating, Gobert's figuring it out, he's healthy. They know how to play around that. They're more of a jump shooting oriented team since they don't have the spacing. They can figure those things out.
Mm-hmm.
Is that going to maintain in a playoff setting against really smart defenses that can game plan for those weaknesses that the 2 big lineups can bring and really force Cat to beat you? I could see a world where their offense slows down a little bit in the playoff setting.
Exactly. And
so I'm with you.
Yeah.
Let's go away.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, that's fair. At the end of the day, I think a lot of this is contingent on how high of a gear can Anthony Edwards kick into once it's that time. And he's proven to do that last year with important guys like Naz Reid missing, I believe, and also obviously Jaden McDaniels. So regardless of the fact, A is very impressive for them.
Yeah, and they're 18th in half-court offense, even in the regular season for how good they've been offensively. 13th in offense overall. So that's not so good they have to be S tier, I don't think.
Yeah, that's fair.
They're not.
I'm on the same page.
Where y'all going to Lakers? How do y'all feel? Listen, we just came off seeing them. The latest game we saw, as the time of recording this, it's not Thursday yet. We haven't seen the semifinals of the in-season tournament. We saw the quarterfinals where they beat the Suns, who don't have Bradley Beal, so that's a part of the equation. But the Lakers defense looked really good. LeBron looked incredible. I have a good amount of hope for this team. Do y'all?
Yeah, I think the Lakers have found their identity. Prior to the season, they did the most hilarious shit ever and pictured Austin Reeves as the third star, specific exclusive photos of him, AD, and LeBron, next big three, and all this other shit. Darvin Ham put his ass on the bench, and honestly, he's been thriving. He's literally been thriving over there, been efficient, and of course he's been closing out games as he should. We saw he hit a very clutch, timely three to help. It was one of the very clutch plays along with the referee to help seal the game. And
along with the referee,
yeah, like having Austin Reeves scoring punch coming off the bench, along with guys like Max Christie and Cam Reddish, my beloved Cam Reddish.
He's been good, man. I like him now as a Lakers fan.
yeah, you like him. I'm happy that you like him. But
I don't like that tone. Fuck out of here. I don't like it. Sorry, Cam Reddish. It's fuck you now because I want to get too much dip on his ship.
But yeah, man, like I like the Lakers' newfound identity, but I don't know if they belong at S just yet. Something's missing.
S definitely not S.
Like. No,
definitely not S.
They're not S. They have to be A tier though.
For sure.
They can't be B.
No, I think they have to be A tier. If you look at them, if you look at the numbers, their profile kind of like resembles the TWolves. They have a very elite defense. Their half-court offense is kind of mid, but the difference is you have LeBron James on your team, and he is amazing, and he just can't stop, won't stop, and he's gonna come out here and he's gonna do what he does. And I don't think there's not like I can't count on one hand the amount of people that I would want in a playoff series more than LeBron or
100%.
You know, like if it comes down to it, like if the Lakers and the Timberwolves played a 7-game series today, I would pick the Lakers simply because
that'd be hard.
It would be hard, but I don't. Yeah. There's nobody in the league that can still control the game the way that LeBron can. The way that he's shooting, the efficiency that he has, which we've talked about before, it's off the charts. And so everybody else is just locking into place. They have to be A tier.
And AD's defense has been this year and last year combined on a whole other level than we saw early in his career. He's always been a great defender, all-time level, great defender. And you know, we talk a lot about how he's put a lot of weight on. He doesn't have the fluidity as a ball handler anymore. That's kind of made people frustrated with his offensive profile these days.
Yeah.
I think it's helped him defensively. He is as dominant as a defender I've ever seen from him, I meant to say, in this season. Like, I feel like I'm watching another Rudy Gobert down there in the paint. Like, he is incredible. So if LeBron is still capable of carrying this type of offensive load and being this level of creator with the ball in his hand still, and AD is going to man your defense and just decimate teams' game plans like he did last year against the Grizzlies and Warriors, they're going to be incredibly hard to beat.
Yeah.
Donovan, you mentioned their profile similar to the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Yeah.
They're fifth in half-court defense right now, even though all their wings have been hurt all season. They've been whole for like 2 games all year.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, this is what they do. They're locked down.
And that's Anthony Davis for you. Going back to what you said with like Anthony Davis changing his body and all this other stuff, there's pros and cons with the evolution that he's made over the years. If you go back and watch his very first game as a Laker, bouncy as hell, quick as hell, super agile. He literally looks like a real power forward version or center version of Kevin Durant. But now he's more stockier, isn't as quick or anything like that. Of course, age and injury has to do with that. But now he's not so he's not bullyable at all, and he's actually doing the bullying on a night-to-night basis. So there's pros and cons with it, and having all-time great defense, who the hell can complain with that? And the Lakers are right now like reaping all those benefits.
For sure, yeah, they're incredible. I'm willing to go A as well because we're projecting, and they're going to keep getting better the more they have continuity. Everything they're doing right now, they're the 4 seed. They're doing with one of the worst injury lucks in the league so far this season. Actually, no, they fell to 7 seed. Actually, no, is this new refresh?
No, I think
while you're refreshing,
I think they're 4.
While you guys are refreshing,
okay, they're 4. They're 4. 13 and 9.
I have a question for y'all. What would it take for you guys to eventually move them to S tier? What would you need to see?
I don't think
season?
I mean, the offense would have to like jump into top 10 range, top 8. That like they would have to match that.
A trade. They're not, I don't see them getting to S tier unless they just like really start clicking, just win a lot of games. Like maybe we're just underestimating them fully healthy. I think they're going to firmly be A tier just because the other teams are so loaded.
Damn.
It really just comes down to that. Like
you
it's
me you don't
not really a slight to them.
What?
No, D'Lo's been great. D'Lo's been great. Man, we can go A tier with the Lakers.
There's nothing at all that they can do this season. They're capped out at their potential is what you're telling me.
No, I mean, again, if they go on a 12-game win streak, yeah, we're going to move into S, but I'm not going to assume something like that happens. Mm-hmm. So to me, it would just be more of whatever is working for them now, if it continues to work and we just see them click and gel, like I said, they haven't been healthy.
Yeah.
If we see that continue, their defense moves from 5 in the half court to 1. Their offense continues to get better. AD's having a poor shooting from the field to start to the season.
Yeah,
mostly
true.
randomness. That's going to recover if he is even better than he was. Reeves starts to continue to go in an upward trajectory, like stuff like that, where what's working now continues to work even greater. Sure, it can happen, but I wouldn't really assume that's going to be the case.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, AD's only shooting 54% on 2s right now. That's just uncharacteristically low for someone who's a legitimately great rim finisher. That's going to come up higher as the season goes on.
No one pays attention to that. He'll be straight.
Oh, no, he's a bum. He doesn't want it bad enough. The Shaq discourse.
Love it.
What team you want to talk about next?
They were telling him night 1 to go get a CDL and to work at Home Depot. Like people care about that.
And when he has a good game, they're like, "Oh, he should do this every night." I'm not impressed. I'm like, "Oh my god."
Guys,
what team you want to talk about next?
I have to be honest. I was the one.
Okay.
I was the one making those CDL tweets.
No, I'm sure you were. You were in the lab on being AI generator, just doing the worst.
By the way,
For horrors beyond our comprehension.
leave a follow.
Oh, great! There we go. Leave a follow. Drop a like on the stream if you're still not stream. I'm used to. Oh my god, I'm in stream mode. Drop a like on the episode if you're still here. Subscribe. Do all that. Shout out Nikhil.
Shout out to Nikhil. But while we're on that point, speaking of the Lakers, let's stay in the Western Conference. I want to ask you guys where you would put the Dallas Mavericks.
I'm glad you brought them up. Yeah. So right now they're 11-8, firmly sitting in the 6th seed. They started the season 6-0, and even before then, we came into the season thinking they'd be like maybe 6-10 range type team in the mix. They started the season 6-0, looked incredible, and we were all like, all right, maybe this Luka experience with Kyrie and the shooters around him, maybe this is what is working. Now they're back down to earth. How do y'all feel? Because I genuinely don't know what to think about them.
I counted out the Dallas Mavericks from the start of the season or before the season because I just didn't see how they would survive throughout an 82-game year with all these other teams next to them who've gotten exponentially better. And although, yes, the Dallas Mavericks did get better, I'm not sliding them. Derek Lively, who would have seen him having a great rookie season this early, this fast, and being a consistent staple to their offense and also playing pretty good defense too. Grant Williams is the perfect signing for this team, you know? And Tim Hardaway Jr., I don't want to say he's like the leading sixth man of the year, but he's getting a whole bunch of buckets from the goddamn bench, averaging like 17, 16 points or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So it's great. But with all that being said, there's still massive holes and flaws to this team. And obviously defense is one of them. It's the biggest thing for them. And their offense hasn't been elite enough to carry them through those woes. Like we've seen it carry through hyper offensive teams like the Sacramento Kings in the past, or this year's version of the Sacramento Kings, the fucking Indiana Pacers or the Atlanta Hawks. You know, they're mid as hell. I don't know why I mentioned the Hawks. Pain, but you get the point.
They're not even on this tier list.
I get it. I think if we're gonna put them, they are either gonna be C or B, but they would be like a low B. But I would have them. I would have them in probably C, just because if you are gonna have the 25th defense in the league, you need to have an all-time unit offensively. You need to be leading the league in offense to be able to offset that. And there's just like better offensive teams than them, and they, like most said, like they still have holes. I don't think that they are. I would not pick them to get to the second round of the playoffs. Like we already in the Western Conference, there's 3 teams that we have above them, and I think that if you're in B or above, in my head, those are teams that if they made the conference finals, I wouldn't be like completely shocked. And if the Mavericks did it, I would be 100% shocked.
When we did our first pod after opening night, I remember it was literally after opening night. We recorded that night of the pod, so it was like instant reactions. I remember I said that the Dallas Mavericks won that game, but it should be a win that is almost like worrying for fans because there was a lot of downside that we saw in that game that would just ended up not mattering because they pulled out a win because Karl-Anthony Towns had a horrible first game of the season. And then after that, we did the power rankings when they were 6-0. And I was like, all right, well, maybe this team is just going to shoot the shit out of the ball and we're going to have Luka cooking and they're going to win. And it just is what it is. It's going to be the best version of that. I feel in between that now. And I was worried about them after night one because this team is kind of like the Warriors in that they're just so fucking unathletic at a lot of positions.
Really?
And just don't have any athleticism and punch that can allow them to get to the rim and just have juice. It's literally how I feel watching the Warriors. I think they're up there with Warriors in the terms of lowest rim volume as a team.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at that right now. But it's like they're so jump shot reliant, and a lot of those wing players just haven't been particularly impressive. Seth Curry hasn't been great. What's his name? Josh Green hasn't been particularly good either.
And he's out for 2 weeks now.
Exactly. And Maxi Kleber's only played a couple games, and he's a big part of their big man rotation. It's just like, if you're going to be so perimeter oriented, you got to be knocking the shots down like the Kings did last year. And if that's not going to be the case, they're going to have to make a move at some point to get more rim pressure and have more juice. Like I said that night, they need their own version of Aaron Gordon, just that 4-man who can give them athleticism and punch down low. This team sorely lacks that.
Yeah, man.
They're 29th in rim volume. Literally, I pulled that out of my ass. They're literally the only team ahead of the Warriors. I didn't even know that. That is the case.
No, you didn't pull out your ass. You were in your bag. You got this statistics shit in your veins, Isaac.
Eye test.
Rep it.
The eye test knew.
Can you pull something up? What's their, obviously it's going to be back because they have the 25th defense. What's their rim defense looking like right now?
I got you. They are, in terms of frequency, 14th. So in terms of how much they let people get there, not too bad. But they're 29th in rim accuracy allowed.
Yeah, so listen, you can't score at the rim and you let other people score at the rim. That's a recipe for a lot of losses. And so like if we're talking about being a serious contender, a serious basketball team, that's the number one way to not be one. And so like they're lucky that they have an all NBA MVP candidate like Luka to keep them afloat and mask a whole bunch of stuff, but that's just not sustainable. And they're probably going to be in the play-in at this point. So what, C?
Yeah,
maybe. So this is where I'm conflicted. They deserve C. On paper right now, they're a C team in terms of contenders, which means they're probably a B team overall.
Mm-hmm.
But do you want to bet against Luka in a playoff setting?
See, that's the main thing. At the same time, I think Luka can only take you so far. But I've seen him at the same time take him so far. But then like
we're projecting.
I sit down.
Keep that in mind.
Yeah, we're projecting. But then I sit down and look at the rest of the team and I see, like I mentioned, Grant Williams, who's been good overall for the entirety of the season, but as of late he's been struggling with his shot, and then I see him get cooked by smaller guards all the time. So it's like, ugh. So
he's
I'm
Grant
like,
Williams,
bruh. I know he can only do so. He's cool. So it's like, I might want to put them in C because I know what it is.
They also have a move in them. They're going to be a player at the trade deadline. I'm comfortable putting them in B, but I'm not mad if you want to be conservative and go C.
If they're a buyer, I'm done.
Yes. When they make the move, we can revisit that. But as of right now, I think they are C.
Never mind. They got Luka. I'm sorry. B. Please.
No.
They got Luka.
Listen,
they got
bet
Luka.
Hold on.
Listen, we'll revisit. We can come back and lower them depending on the team.
No. We're standing on this right now. A bet on this, like you just said, it's not just a bet on Luka. It's a bet on Josh Green. It's a bet on Maxi Kleber. It's a bet on Grant Williams to get you to the upper tiers of championship contenders.
It's just B. It's not A.
Let's not do this. Let's have them in C.
Mo, I'm with you. Let's go B, but I'm comfortable.
I swear y'all do this just to spite me, just to upset me.
Dude, the Magic are on this list. The Pelicans are on this list. The Pacers are on this list. There's so many teams that have a wide variety of unseriousness in terms of contending titles and contending chances. There's going to be teams that you're going to be like, oh, I believe more in Luka than I do in.
You guys have a meeting pre-show just to say, like, how can we mess with Donovan? How can we upset him today? And this is just another case. I see how it is. Okay.
No, man. You know me best, for now.
I'm not going to be shocked if I end up on your side.
Yeah, I got weak knees. I don't stand on shit. I flip-flop every other day like a goddamn pancake. All right? I am not standing on shit. Please, let this be known.
All right.
The polar opposite of Donovan's mindset. Yeah. I love it. All right, okay, so let's contrast this with a team that I feel like is similar. Where do you want to put the Knicks?
I think they're a solid C, to be honest with you.
And this is why Donovan, before we even get to this, do you believe in the Knicks or the Mavericks more to win a title? Think about that. I'm not asking who would win in a series. Who has a better chance of winning 4 series?
You gonna stand on it or what, Donovan?
Well, listen, this this has nothing to do with the tiers. They can both be in the same tier, but I think that
for sure,
I would take Dallas just because they have Luka and you have that high end talent, and and I trust him to be able to raise the Mavericks to a floor that only a handful of people can do. And even though that Brunson is fantastic, he's great. He's not Luka, obviously. So
yeah.
I would take the Mavericks. I don't believe in Julius Randle in the playoff setting right now. So that's also what it is. Like your top players, the Mavericks have it. And then also when you go to the second players, I would also trust Kyrie in a playoff setting more than Julius Randle. And so there's that aspect. So, but I do.
We didn't even mention Kyrie. I trust Kyrie too.
Exactly. But I would have them in the same tier, and I would have them in C.
See, you just explained why they shouldn't be in the same tier, in my opinion. But I feel the same way, but differently. You said you trust Luka to give them a floor. I feel like all of this only matters if we see these teams click to the point that they we think they can.
Mm-hmm.
If things go well for these teams and we see them be an actualized version of themselves come playoff time. And that's gonna be the case for both teams. They're both standard to expectations. I think Luka and Kyrie, to some degree, give them a ceiling that you can reach. To win a title, you need one superstar at least, maybe two, to go fucking nuts and give you an all-time level run. We saw it with Jokic last year. We saw it with Giannis when he won a title. You need that level of high-end talent to go crazy. And the Knicks, you could argue from 1 through 10 are a better team than the Mavs in totality. Maybe they could win in a series against the Mavs, but they just don't have that high-end talent that can give them that reach to a fourth playoff series win. And that, to me, makes them clearly in a different tier.
Well, I don't think the Mavs have that, though. I think that both...
They do, though, with Luka.
No, I don't... Listen, there is absolutely no universe where the Dallas Mavericks win a championship, right? I think that...
I probably agree, but it's more likely than the Knicks.
Yes, I agree. More likely, but what we're talking about here is tiers and levels of stuff. And so I think that the ceiling for both of these teams, if everything goes right and everybody's going crazy, is a conference championship appearance. I think that that's kind of fair, right?
I can agree with that.
The Knicks defense and the fact that they are one of the best offensive rebounding teams in the league and that they can create so many second chance points. That in itself also gives them a floor offensively and in a playoff series that you can get a couple games. And if Julius Randle just isn't 2 for 14, and I understand that that's a terrible bet, but you look at that game 6 with the Knicks and the Heat last year where Jalen scores 41 and everybody else is going 3 for 14. RJ's going, 2 for whatever. Grimes can't shoot. Nobody can shoot. If you have one other person to do that on top of the offensive rebounding that Robinson and Hartenstein provide, you can get to the third round if everything clicks. And I think
it sounds to me like you agree the Knicks are C tier, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's about the Mavs. Mo, are you with us, C tier Knicks?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I agree. I think that's perfect. I think that's a perfect range for the Knicks. Now, a report came out a couple hours ago today by either Woj or Sam's, one of the big two, and it was noted that
the big two, nice.
Yeah, it was noted that the Knicks were in the market, or they're going to be in the market the second that a major superstar tries to is out there to request a trade. And obviously, I think if that happens, I don't know who in particular would help raise that ceiling. If they land a Zach LaVine though, or something like that, I'm going to be more compelled to put them somewhere in a B. Or if they land anything else,
I don't even know.
You know what I'm saying? I might be compelled to put them in B.
I don't know about Zach LaVine specifically, but that report was fucking hysterical. That was Shams on FanDuel TV. All he said was the Knicks have their eyes on adding a superstar.
Yeah.
Fucking obviously they do. The New York Knicks, they have been for a decade.
Yeah.
Doesn't change anything substantial with the way anybody should view this team.
Yeah, exactly. But I will say, if they do add another piece, considering how good their defense is and rebounding and how scrappy they are. Yeah, but that still is the best part. Well, in my mind, that's what makes the Knicks, the scrappiness. And I know as the season goes on, that should tick up just a little bit. And so I'll be more compelled to put them at B. But for now, they're solid C.
Okay. What do you want to do with the 76ers?
Oh, man.
I'll go first. They're at least A. I could be convinced of them being S tier. I truly believe in them.
Oh man,
I believe in
the S tier. You can
No,
be
no,
Okay,
screwed
no,
like
I
that.
forgot. My bad. I forgot we are firmly in. I almost let myself be convinced by regular season Joel Embiid again.
That's why we're
I
here
forgot
to keep you in touch.
we are
Thank you.
firmly in the stance of Big Harden is not going to work in the playoffs until he does. So never mind, he can't be S tier. But I think put Big Harden aside, put Joel Embiid's resume of being hurt every playoff run aside. I think what Nick Nurse has done with his team and how he's maximized Joel Embiid's passing, how he's brought Tyrese Maxey to stardom, I think that has to be A tier.
That is the way to start this conversation. Start it with Nick Nurse first. Joel Embiid, he's having great, arguably, probably having a better season so far than his MVP season, which is absolutely nuts to say. But whenever you talk about Joel Embiid, there was a sour taste on the tip of my tongue, and I can't get away. I can't talk about him in a bright manner without remembering what he did just 5 months ago, 6-7 months ago, or whatever, you know. But the 76ers have had something that they haven't had in a couple of years since I would say the Jimmy Butler era of the Sixers, which is they have a lot of big wings, they have better shooting. Tobias Harris is playing some of the best basketball in his career in a weird way. And then also Tyrese Maxey might just be the best guard outside of Jimmy Butler that Joel Embiid has ever played with. So there's a lot going their way.
I also think, listen, when we talk about let's explain to people that are new listeners. I mentioned how we write off Joel Embiid in the playoffs. I say that because we've had a lot of discussion about, I think it's mostly been me slandering him a little bit and being like, I'm done believing in Joel Embiid in the playoffs until he gives me a reason to. Because every year, for some reason or the other, he has a playoff meltdown. I called him Big Harden because it's similar to James Harden, where every regular season in his prime, he was top 3 player in the league. Playoffs come around, shooting percentage drops by 10% across the board. Joel Embiid's been on the same type of shit, and it's been because 1, he's hurt every year, and 2, he just malfunctions and the offense falls apart, and he makes bad decisions, shoots poorly from the field, all this. I do think part of that is because he was handcuffed by having Doc Rivers is his incompetent ass as his coach. And now with Nick
Nurse,
-10
attributes across the board. You're right.
Exactly. So now that he has a real coach who's legitimately one of the smartest X's and O's guys in the leagues and knows how to maximize him in the regular season, I have some faith that he'll know how to, prevent him from falling into those characteristics that have hurt him in the playoffs.
I mean, that's cool. Yeah. Do it in the playoffs then. Like I just that everything that you guys are saying is completely true. I just could not care less about what you're doing right now because you have not shown yourself to be a respectable individual the moment April Fool's hits the calendar. And so for somebody who his free throws drop in the playoffs, his field goal percentage drops. I think, and I don't know if Nikhil can find it off top, but there was a tweet that we showed whenever the Sixers flamed out again in the playoffs. We were saying that Embiid is literally the biggest playoff dropper in NBA history in terms of regular season points per game to playoff points per game. I need to know whether or not truly this is Doc Rivers or Nick Nurse. And I just can't determine that until April comes around. So I'm sorry, like what you're doing is admirable. Shout out to you, but you have to prove it. You have allegations against you that you are Big Harden. Fix it, figure it out. So I'm going A tier.
Something that I will say, I agree. I want to put them at A tier comfortably. Before the season, we all thought they weren't going to be even in this range. We all thought they were going to comfortably be a 4, 5, 6 seed in the Eastern Conference, simply based on the powers of Joel Embiid and his regular season abilities. But having all this depth moves me, and also having Nick Nurse moves me as well. And Joel Embiid is Joel Embiid. You can only disrespect him to a certain degree. So I think they firmly are an A tier
and that degree is a lot. we can disrespect him a lot.
But
I'm being
tame
right now.
Though, real quick before we turn the page, is Kelly Oubre is supposed to return in a few games from now, I believe. Mm-hmm. And Kelly Oubre has been known to be a wildly inconsistent player throughout his entire NBA career and every single organization he's been in. So, but if they can get that version of Kelly Oubre that they had prior to, him getting hit by a car or whatever, I think that, I'm staying at A tier. I can't do it.
You see this tweet? You see the tweet Nikhil just pulled up? This is despicable stuff. This is despicable stuff.
For the audio listeners, the tweet says, Joel Embiid averaged 33.1 points per game in the regular season and 23.7 points per game in the playoffs. That drop-off of minus 9.4 is the largest by that year's MVP in NBA history.
We've never seen anybody fold the way that he did last year. It's never been done. So you are in A tier. You should be lucky that we even considering you in the upper echelon of contenders this year. Go do something about it.
We can put him in A tier, but I'm more moved by this Sixers team than I have been by a Sixers team in quite a while. So when the playoffs come around and we're predicting series, predicting runs, I will be predicting the Sixers to win a lot of matchups. I'll say that.
Nope.
You know,
I don't know about the Bucks. I don't know if the Bucks are going to be one of those or not, but it's going to be a conversation for me.
Do you know who we need to have a conversation about next? In a team that's just been like so up and down, and I want to believe in them so much, but I just can't fully buy into them just yet. The Cleveland Cavaliers.
I knew you were going to say the Cavs. I was about to say
that. Fuck. Oh, man.
I agree. Tell me why. Tell me your worries about the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Now, earlier in the season, we all noticed, Isaac, you pulled up huge red flags of, their defense, I believe, not being as on par. But we also noticed, Jared Allen has been in and out of the lineup. And also, same thing applies to Darius Garland and Max Strus, the new addition, who's fit like a glove pretty much. But so far this season, same thing applies. And I'm starting to have questions about their coach, JB Bickerstaff, because I always see him. He's like running this team right now as if they're in like playoff mode, and through all these injuries, doesn't matter what it is. He's still playing 8 players on the team. You know what I'm saying? Only 3
Is
players.
He really? I hadn't noticed
only
that.
3 players on that bench are getting some burn, So it's like, I don't know how to feel about this team at all. Their structure is still very appealing, but I just don't know what to think about them. And then Darius Garland turnovers, so it's like,
yeah, I think at least last year, historically, I feel like I've probably been the highest on this team out of us 3.
Yes.
No longer is the case. I might be the lowest out of us 3. I'm having serious worries about this team. You mentioned JB Bickerstaff. I'm leaning towards it being a coaching issue too. When I watched this team, okay, let me rewind. When I was high on this team to start last year, it was because I viewed them as having potentially the most talented defensive front court in the league and one of the most talented offensive backcourts in the league. That is like, just an intriguing combination of talent that you don't often see. Like to have those 4 players in those 4 positions, like that's just a unique combination of talent that you could see if it's maximalized, them being really hard to beat. I don't feel confident about either of those pairings anymore. We saw in the playoffs last year that Evan Mobley's lack of 3-point shot really hurt them. Their spacing was horrendous. You play a team like the Knicks, who are just going to make your life hell, be bullies, make the game into junk. It's hard to win with that type of spacing. I still feel that way. Last year, it was okay because they had the number 1 defense for a lot of the year, and Evan Mobley was a DPOY candidate next to Jared Allen, who was also incredible. Evan Mobley hasn't lost a step. He's still that, but their defense is only 8th right now. Again, we mentioned there's a lot of injuries, but that's not as great. There's a big difference to me, the best defense in the league and a top 10 defense. That's not the same level of strength as it is before. Their offense is 23rd. And I don't feel confident that with this coaching staff and how they're being utilized, that the D. Mitch and Garland pairing will ever really work. It's almost like Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum time, where they just don't really complement each other.
You know what? I'm going to take it a step even further than that. They feel like a suited up version of like the 2016, 2017, 2018, whatever version you want to use of the Portland Trailblazers with CJ McCollum and Damian Lillard. That's what it is.
Yeah, not even though, because CJ McCollum was offensively at least really good at playing off ball and finding ways to cook off of screens and everything and let Dame do his thing. He was able to get his without detracting from Dame at all. And it just feels like neither one of them are particularly great at those things. They can both catch and shoot jumpers, so when the other guy's doing his thing, they can not hurt you on the court, but they're not helping each other at all. Like they both kind of want to do the same things and take turns. And while they don't prevent each other from doing their thing, they're not magnifying each other's talent at all.
Listen, man, if it ain't one thing, it's another. And with the Cavs, I was honestly, Isaac, I think I was with you in terms of the potential that I saw for the Cavs. Last year, I thought that they low key could have been the 1 seed this year, just before some of the trades. But I thought that what Max Strus was going to bring to them and their offense was going to unlock what they do offensively. It was going to spread them out, and they were going to be able to combine that elite defense that we were talking about with an elite offense. And it's so weird. And that's the word that, like, when I watch the Cavs, that's the word that just comes to mind the whole time. It's like, what's happening? Because Max Strus has been fantastic, and he's been everything that I thought that he should be for this Cavs team, but it hasn't taken that next step, right? And the pairing, like you said, just isn't working, and something's just off. And so I think, and I hope you guys feel the same way, I would have them as a D tier contender.
Damn, D tier is kind of crazy. I wouldn't go that far because I think coaching needs to be under a serious microscope before you address them and, you know what I'm saying, stare at their structure and be like, no, this is D tier. I wouldn't I won't go that far. I just think that they're having, like, you know what I'm saying, mainly coaching issues as of now. You know, I'm on I'm
gonna push back on that just real quick, because what you guys both, I just said back, both of y'all said that they actually have like roster construction issues in terms of the Garland Mitchell pairing, and then with Mobley's inability to space the floor and him and Allen in a playoff setting, we've already seen that been a downfall of that team. So if you have 4 out of the 5 players in the starting lineup not necessarily fitting perfectly together, and then you have the coach who now we're starting to look at and saying, is this a coaching thing? Where are you finding like where are you finding it to where you say, oh no, like, but I still think that they can be one of, you know, like an actual contender?
I don't think it's a matter of it's not that these players, you said it's a roster construction issue. It's not that. It's a how they're deployed issue, I think. I feel like JB Bickerstaff has a pretty hands-off approach offensively. They're a high pick and roll team. They let Garland and Donovan Mitchell do their thing in a very free-flowing way. Like they both spam pick and rolls. That's kind of their offense. I think it's a way of deploying them as the issue, not necessarily. It's not like they can't fit together. I don't think that's the issue. There's no world where any adjustments can be made and it's not going to work regardless. That's not how I feel. It's the way they're currently being deployed that I feel like it's not working, and we have to look in the mirror. That can change if no schematics change. So I still believe that can be the case. We've seen them click before. They were a high seed last year. Like, we've seen them be a good team. They have been injured, like we said. You said Max Strus has brought them everything that we hoped he would, and they still haven't been that good. That screams to me that once everything else regularizes or normalizes, that's the word. I made up a word right there. Once that normalizes and you have Max Strus in the mix, that gives them a ceiling of being a legitimately really good team. In the playoffs come around, you can bench Jared Allen, close games, Evan Mobley at center, and kind of negate some of those scoring issues.
Yeah.
I think that's enough that, like, they're not going to be this bad. They're going to turn it around. They're not going to finish the season as an 8 seed, I don't think.
Yeah, I agree. Personally, I feel like deep down there are roster construction issues, but I don't think any of these issues should be a reason why they're like 9-10 or 10-10 or whatever it might be. They just beat their Orlando Magic, you know? But for now, when it comes to these early stages of a team finding themselves into contention, you're right. I believe they need to look in the mirror. Whatever's going on, I don't know what's going on in their locker room or whatever Coach JB Bickerstaff is cooking, but I can tell that he's probably not cooking shit as of now. I just hopped on the Cleveland Cavaliers Reddit, and the first things that I see is fire JB, fire JB, fire JB. These fans are so deep in the pits of hell. Click on the Reddit post. Someone says, trading away Lamar Stevens was a mistake. We underestimate a good locker room presence. Lamar Stevens.
You wasn't there.
He sounds like a GTA character, man. All right. Someone named Lamar. He was a great player last season. He was a menace on the defensive end, and at times you couldn't play Isaac Okoro like that. He was a great socket, but he is not the reason why your team is underachieving on all levels.
I'm looking at their tracking stats and their play types. They're third in the NBA on possessions that end with a shot or assist taken from a pick and roll ball handler. Third in the NBA, but they're only 55th percentile in terms of efficiency on those shots. So that just screams to me that their offense is very heavy Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland oriented. Neither one, it's not working at the current moment as well. Darius Garland has had a ridiculous amount of turnovers to start the year. Hasn't been as efficient as we've seen him do in the past. Donovan Mitchell's been Donovan Mitchell. He's still good, obviously, but it hasn't been clicking like it was early last season when we were like, holy shit, this guy's playing like the best guard in the league. He made all NBA team because of it.
See,
that is going to turn around. I have faith that they're going to at least figure that part out, and they're both going to be able to get theirs. And that simple improvement of just, let me say the right word this time, normalization to the mean, that's going to lift them back up to being the 4th, 5th seed, whatever.
I agree. I 110% agree. But where I go back to, they kind of remind me of the Portland Trailblazers is because of how the ceiling of their offense and how they're going to dominate. And I would like their offense to dominate in more ways than simply just spamming pick and rolls. And that all comes back to like the development and growth of Evan Mobley. And I don't know if he's going to develop and grow to what I envision him or what everybody else envisions the perfect version of Evan Mobley being. You know what I'm saying? And that's perfectly fine. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But the Cavs will be fine overall. I think right now they deserve to be firmly C.
I don't.
Yeah, let's go see.
Last point for why they should be in D is I think that they should actually be concerned about their playoff lives right now. Listen, it's still early, but Orlando's here and Indiana is also here, and they can make any night and any game a very tough one. And so when you talk about those two kind of quote unquote surprise teams on top of the 3 teams that we have in S and A tier, and then even the Knicks doing something, we're looking at them. We haven't even talked about the Heat. There's a very real possibility that the Cavs stay in the 8th seed, that they stay in the 7th seed, and that they're a playing team, and their playoff hopes end before they even start. And so I don't know. I would have them in D.
Man, that'll
This is another one.
Ass.
Let's put them C.
It's another projection.
The best argument there is because they're gonna be a playing team. Looking at it now, they're probably gonna be 7 seed.
Yeah,
they're not gonna beat one of the top 2 seeds, so that makes it hard for them to be a good contender if they can't get past the first round. And if they're in the 7th seed for the first round, I can promise you they're not beating the Celtics or Bucks. So there's that. Let's revisit them because you can convince me to knock them down once we see the rest of the layout of this tier list.
All right.
Listen, we're an hour in. We still got like 7 teams. We gotta start rolling.
We are yapping. Holy shit, bro. I forget that there's a camera in my face. Hey, ground eaters.
That's what we do.
Let's get some of the easy ones out of the way so we can narrow this down. Clippers. We've talked at length about the Clippers, and I'm kind of fucking sick of it.
I don't want to talk
Ass, F, D, next. Orlando Magic. Let's be real.
Orlando. Okay, yeah. So let's put the Clippers in F just because we're not talking about them. They're so garbage, and just like they came back and beat the Warriors, so we'll give them credit there. That's because the Warriors are equally fucking unserious. It was an unserious off. They played a home and home. Just two incredibly unserious teams going back and forth, just taking turns, embarrassing themselves. Let's talk about the Warriors. We talked about them at length too. I'm fucking sick of talking about their trash ass team that can't get to the rim, can't defend the rim, can't push the pace, can't do anything. I'm putting them in D. Their D tier is fuck to me right now.
Oh my god, that's funny as fuck, man. Oh man,
yeah.
They can't do anything well.
We'll put them. Listen, they should be F, but we love Steph Curry, so they're in D tier.
Yeah, listen, they're in D tier because they've won so many chips together. The nucleus is intact. You can't write them off completely. They have some form of Miami Heat voodoo black magic. They can't be higher than D despite that.
Yeah.
Pain.
They're coasting up the power of friendship. Like 100%.
Yeah.
And that friendship is fractured because Klay Thompson sucks and Draymond Green can't stop hurting people.
Yeah. Give Moses more minutes. Please.
But yeah, if you want to see us talk about these two teams, watch the last few episodes. The last episode actually was about teams that should panic. We talked at length about both of these teams, especially the Warriors. Go watch that episode if you hear more about it. But I speak for myself, done believing in the Warriors.
I have to be along that same page too. I'm done believing that they have title chances. I used to think that, but not anymore. Can't be.
Yeah, they're cooked. Rapid fire. Who else is rapid fire in here? The Suns are. I feel like they're A, right?
Gosh, Kevin Durant's playing at elite level, and so
we'll put him in it. We'll put him in it.
If the Lakers are A, the Suns have to be A for similar reasons. They have that top tier talent. They're incredible.
Yeah.
If everything clicks the way you want it to, they're going to be incredible.
Yeah, we'll do
for sure. Even without even without Bradley Beal, like if he never even just plays for the rest of the season and just has old man back or whatever, I'd still put them at A because KD and D-Book just like that. And I don't want to say it, but Grayson Allen is hooping.
All right.
You can say it.
Devin Booker played like absolute piss in the in-season
He
tournament
did.
game against the Lakers. He had like 7 turnovers. He was like 2 for 17. It wasn't actually that, but it was something horrible. I can't remember. That's uncharacteristic of what we've seen from Devin Booker. Over the previous 2 seasons, I was listening to Zach Lowe and JJ Redick's podcast together. JJ Redick pulled out the record. I forgot what it was, but when Kevin Durant and Booker are together in the regular season, they're like 17-2.
I think
17-3 now.
I think it was 15-2.
It's nuts.
I think it was 15.
Yeah, 15-2.
Yeah.
They're going to be fantastic if Devin Booker can stay healthy. If Bradley Beal comes back, that's when we're looking at them pushing into S tier and maybe being a tier 1 contender if things go well. They, just like the Lakers, they deserve A tier for benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
I love it, man.
All right, who's next?
What do rapid fire? Who else can be in the rapid fire round? No, I guess that ends the rapid fire. I think the rest of these teams we need to talk about.
Well, no. Last one for rapid fire is the Magic are not going to win a championship.
Yeah, that should be rapid fire. That should be rapid fire.
But they've been good. They're good.
They're good, but they're not going to win a chip, and we know that. Like, what's best case scenario for the Magic?
You're right. Go D.
Yeah, they're going on there. They finally found themselves as an organization, and I think they're on the exact same tier and par of like, okay, now y'all on some shit of like, well, I wouldn't even compare them to any of the teams that we have list to put on this tier list. But so they're like a tier above under those teams, but they're just now finding themselves. They're exciting. They're the new, like, there's one of the most fun teams to watch, in my opinion, in the entire NBA. But with all that being said, this team has like still major issues. We all know this. I said it like 4, 5, 6 months ago, whatever. They need shooters. They've been thriving without Markelle Fultz. The elephant in the room is bigger than ever right now. They need to trade his ass for some type of shooter in order to reach that next step and evolution as a rebuilding team. So,
do you think we just give them C just because they're the 3 seed? Like, is it disrespectful to put them D? Just like they've been legitimately good, and it's not Mickey Mouse neither. Like, they legitimately have a great defense and two I'll say star wings, quote unquote. You know, maybe they're not all star.
Say it.
Yeah, let's call them star wings. Maybe they're not all stars this year, but they're clearly on that path to being a legitimate star wing combo. It's Boston Celtics light. They have 2 star wings and a great defensive, foundation around them. Like you said, they need the shooting to be able to really maximize the offense around those 2 guys. But they're a good team. It's not fake.
I know that. We are all in agreement that they're a good team, and we all like the Magic. Let's be real for 2 seconds.
Yeah.
They're not winning a chip.
Right. You're right. You're right. Okay.
Listen to this. In the year 2023, guess how many threes they hit against the Cleveland Cavaliers?
6.
5.
Donovan? 2. Motherfucking 2. Nobody could hit shit. Nobody.
How many did they take? How many did they take?
23. Only 23. Woo! So it's like this team is in
They shot
hell
worse
when
than
it comes to
10%.
shooting.
Oh my goodness.
No, they're
It's
the
ridiculous.
2018 Western Conference Finals Rockets. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like that's why they deserve to be D for now. That's
Okay.
in the conversation.
I just feel like if I was a Magic fan and I saw the way they've been playing and I saw the way the Cavs have been playing and I saw my team in a tier below them, I'd fucking rip my hair out. So like, condolences to Magic's fans. You're right. They deserve to be higher, but we're projecting and we're talking about when the conference finals come around, when the second round comes around, which teams do we actually think are going to be projected to win these series? And shout out your good season. The Magic just aren't going to be winning against these other top tier teams.
Magic fans, I'm with you though. Like, I think you guys should be in the same tier as the Cavs. So don't get mad at me. It's not my fault. It's not my fault we're doing that.
I love the Magic, but
I can be convinced. I don't know.
All right,
I
who's
can't be
next?
convinced.
We'll
I'm
see.
being real. Who's next?
Okay, that ends the rapid fire round. Let's talk about these teams. Where are we putting the OKC Thunder?
B tier.
Oh man. So they either deserve to be in B or A.
They're the 2 seed, 13 and 6.
I
They're
think
legitimately really good.
yes. I think they should be in B tier.
Okay. Well,
Yes, I think.
So it's obviously between B and A. They're not being in C. Why do you think
Yeah.
B instead of A?
I think that one, with all the teams, right? The same reason that we talked about like Luka and being able to like have a star player that can raise the floor. Like Shay's fantastic, right? You said it on the stream the other day. He walks out of bed and scores 30, right? And it's great. The main thing that they were missing last year was rim protection and an actual center. And then all of a sudden, Chet Holmgren is like, yeah,
Spawns
I'm
in.
like,
Good.
I'm
God,
actually back, and I'm gonna be fantastic at defending the rim, and I'm gonna be able to space the floor, and I'm gonna be able to create a little bit. They have a lot of ball handlers and playmakers, and the shooting from last season to this season in terms of who's around Shea and the ball handlers, that's also stepped up with Case and Wallace, with Isaiah Joe. Like, they have guys who can space the floor for guys to get to the rim. Their defense is also fantastic. I think they were 13th. They were either 13th or top 10 last year in defense. That has remained the same. And so I think when you have a star guard who can score 30 and a top 10 defense, that puts you in a tier that is towards the top of the league.
I'm not gonna lie to you. If they were gonna play against the Timberwolves right now in a playoff series, I think I'd pick OKC.
Really?
Do you realize they're a top 5 offense and a top 5 defense?
Yeah, that's
Every
hard.
time that's
tough.
ever happened, that team has been a legitimate contender. I don't give a shit that they're young. I don't care at all that their oldest player is 25 and has never had a deep playoff run. They are legitimately extremely good, and their title window is open. I know their GM started the season was like, oh, let's take it slow. We're not a contender yet. We're still finding out what we are. We have found out what they are, and that is a legitimately great team. You said Chet Holmgren came in and gave them exactly what they needed. He gave them way more than they could have ever hoped from him in his rookie season. Already a top 10 center. Shea is a top 10 player in the league, at minimum top 12. One of the best guards, go-to scorer, better than Anthony Edwards, I think. So if we're going to give the Timberwolves credit for having that top-tier guy that can move up a gear, Shea is that and more. You said they have a lot of ball handlers. That's putting it lightly. They have an incredibly inventive offense that is built around the fact that when they're on the court, almost all 5 guys are legitimate threats to create a shot on their own and can all play off of each other and not be, damaging off ball. They can all shoot to a certain degrees. They can all run small pick and rolls. They're incredibly hard to deal with because you don't know who's going to do what at any point of the game. And I think that's going to translate into the playoffs and make them. I would not be shocked if they're in the conference finals.
I wouldn't go as far as to say,
let's go.
Yeah, this man is doing wow.
I love it. I love it though. And you know what? I came on.
They're good.
I came on here and I was trying to be conservative because they are the young team. I feel the same way as Isaac. I think that they are really, really good, and they have an opportunity to do something very special this year. So yes,
listen, they should ship Josh Giddey to Azkaban and bring in somebody that can shoot and not be gross. But other than that, get him out the paint, and this team is cooking. Like, this team, there's so many times where every lineup they're playing is good, except for Josh Giddey when he's on there, because he has not been a good fit this year. He's been just bad. He can't shoot. He just clogs up what they want to do. Outside of that, and listen, they're playing games now where he doesn't close it, and Isaiah Joe plays more minutes than him. Yeah. That needs to continue to be a thing. And in the playoff setting, we'll see how Isaiah Joe's defense can hold up. He can be the piece that lets them bench Giddey and put him in the lineup, and they don't have any weaknesses offensively.
They need to sacrifice one of them damn picks and trade for Zach LaVine, honestly, dude. I would have no issue with that because they have so many picks and it wouldn't even fucking matter at that point.
No. They need to package 6 of those motherfuckers to get OG.
Thank you.
That's what they need.
That'd be perfect too, but I don't know if they'll sacrifice 6. Sam Presti is very stingy about
You
it.
have the picks. You have the picks. Send 12. Who cares?
Send 12. Who cares? It's hilarious.
I saw a tweet. I saw a tweet about this. Good perspective I never thought about. He was saying maybe Sam Presti isn't going to package and move a star, and instead he's going to keep those picks to always have cheap young talent around his core. And with the new second apron coming into play with luxury tax, and this roster's going to get expensive, that actually could be really smart to, like, every year have a late first round pick to draft an older rookie.
Yeah. No, yeah, that's definitely useful.
You're going to do that for 12 years? You know how many picks they have?
Bro, that's how you be a dynasty. That's
12?
That's great.
Somebody going to retire before then.
Oh man, I love the OKC Thunder and especially Chet Holmgren as much as you guys for every single reason. I think Chet Holmgren is easily one of the most impactful rookies, players overall in general, but rookies that I've ever seen over the last 5, 6, 7, whatever years. On every single aspect, he's not lacking. He can create his own shot. He's a tremendous shot blocker. He can fucking shoot. He's a sniper. You know what I'm saying? He's good at finishing at the rim, and he can pass as well. So he has the whole 9. My only thing is that, of course, like the whole Josh Giddey thing is like a serious thing, but they have Isaiah Joe next to him. But I think the size might really get to them in the playoffs once they face a team like, of course, the Denver Nuggets. Everyone has an issue. That's not the real point. But the real point is like, okay, I don't know if they can go ahead and overcome a team like the Minnesota Timberwolves, because I think that's all that size might give them a serious issue. Just the other night we witnessed, and you know what I'm saying, the Minnesota Timberwolves closed out a game without their best player against the Oklahoma City Thunder. And I'm like, I can't say that so easily. I really want to. I really, really want to, but I need to see more of it. And I just don't think they're at a time, place, or space to have that. Unless they go ahead and buy out market and get a big body who can ensure, you know what I'm saying, or give Chet Holmgren the reassurance that he needs on a consistent basis. I just need to see a bigger body in this team. Casey Wallace is also.
You can say the size of the Timberwolves would hurt OKC. I could say that they could stretch out the Timberwolves and run them off the court and make it really hard for Cat to defend all these small pick and rolls in space. They have the defensive personnel to shut down their offense because Chet Holmgren is the type of defender that can be down low guarding Rudy Gobert and affect every Anthony Edwards drive. They have Lou Dort to throw at Anthony Edwards. Like, I think both these teams have enough advantages over each other that I think they're firmly in the same tier in A.
Yeah, I can see the same tier. I can see the same tiers also, but I just do not know if I see conference finals ability to go, and that's what A tier is. And I'm trying to get myself over that last hump. I just can't though.
I understand. Also, you guys both like alluded to it real quick. I think that's actually like important that we say real quick. So I'm gonna say this and then we can move on from the Thunder. But like a lot of people have been asking like why like been talking about the Josh Giddey thing. They're like, look, it's a very serious thing. And I think that like for us, we're gonna wait until more information comes out. The NBA has they've started their investigation. It would be irresponsible for us to just come on here and start talking and making all these assumptions with a situation like that delicate. So we're going to wait and be very hands off, see what comes out. And then we'll talk about it, but we're not going to make any assumptions or come out here and try to make jokes about it. So
he says after I said send him to Azkaban.
Yeah.
you said that and then started talking about his play, and that's what I thought you meant.
Yeah, you said that without any context. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that's
you're right.
a serious case of slander that we're staying away from.
Yeah, and that's staying away from. We're gonna fucking talk about it if it comes out and we know the details and it is what it looks like.
Yeah.
Because if it is what it looks like, nasty man, he who should not be named. But we're gonna wait because the story broke out via Twitter investigators and leaked Snapchat stories. Reporting has been done since then, and we're starting to see more details. So I'll not say those details don't look good for Mr. Potentially Nasty Man, but we're gonna wait until the NBA concludes their decision, and then we'll talk about their decision and what all it means.
100%. You know what team?
Are we going A tier for them?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, A tier. That's fair.
Dope.
I confidently will say I believe in them more than the Dallas Mavericks because they're so much more well-rounded, and they also have that superstar. I believe in Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. But next team, can we please touch on the New Orleans Pelicans because they are my newest. God, I'm so engulfed in this team and everything that they do and all the moving pieces that are starting to come together.
Man, it's gulping those Pelicans.
Yes,
I think they're B. I'm with you. I'm very intrigued by them because they're getting their shooting back. And they started the season so just ugly because they didn't have CJ for a while, didn't have Trey Murphy. Zion started slow. Now he's speeding up and looking like Zion again. I'm in on them being really good. I'm cool with B.
Yeah, man. I'll go B. That's fine.
I think, B is fair. You know what I'm saying? That's like you were alluding to, Isaac. They had so much going on at the start of the season on top of Zion being coming in slow. CJ was out, collapsed lung, and then Brandon Ingram was also out of the lineup too for a certain amount of time. And now I think, cross fingers, you can finally see the New Orleans Pelicans go on that normal, healthy run that they should be going on now that Trey Murphy, who was fantastic role player, picture perfect role player that you can imagine alongside Zion Williamson. And now
he's awesome.
Yeah, man. And then also, as awesome as he is too, Jordan Hawkins is phenomenal too. He's a sniper from hell. And with all this shooting on the team now, I feel like by the end of the season, we might have to, if they prove it, of course, they might be in A tier by the end of the season if this run goes on.
Yeah, they have.
If it clicks well,
they have that level of potential. But I'm good with B for right now.
Yeah,
cool. Put him in B. Yeah, again, I want them to trade Jonas Valanciunas sooner rather than later and bring in a center that can. Let me start over. He's been good. Jonas has been very good, having a good year. not a good fit. Just long term outlook for a potential playoff series. They need more defensive help because their best players right now are Zion Williamson, Brandon Ingram, CJ McCollum, and probably Trey Murphy.
Herb Jones.
I'm getting there. Trey Murphy and Jonas. Those 5 players, none of them are good on defense. Herb Jones is a fucking superhero defensively and holds this lineup together, just out here defending everything, rotating everywhere. He's going to be all NBA first team. All defense first team. He needs help defensively. He can't do this shit all on his own. He needs a viable rim protector there, and that's just never going to be Jonas's game.
Yeah, that's very fair.
I don't think it'd be A tier without that.
Yeah, I can agree to that. Yeah, exactly. That's the biggest separator between them and every other team in the NBA. But while you talk about like trading players, yeah, Jonas Valanciunas, I can't get over the hump of him too. But also in the back of my mind, this is not a conversation for now. But sometimes I think to myself, damn, is Brandon Ingram like really a great fit next to Zion Williamson? I don't really know, No,
I think we do know he's not.
Yeah, and I'm like, this is super premature because they have to make those strides first and see how far they can go with these two. But this is me speaking like 2 years ahead in advance or a year and a half ahead in advance or whatever. I can imagine a world in where they go ahead after a couple of seasons of whatever playoff failure or shortcomings or whatever. They're like, damn, we need to blow this duo up, be on the lines. And God damn it, if they're going to be on the line with anybody, they need to be on the line with a team like my Atlanta Hawks. Give me all the picks that you goddamn own. You know what I'm saying? Give me all your finest recipes of gumbo, and I might consider giving you training.
Hey, DeJounte for Brandon Ingram kind of makes sense for both teams.
I would listen. I'm going as far as trade, depending on what they give. That's what I'm saying, and I'm saying that for the sake of trade, the better minute of his career.
He's done with Trae Young.
I'm not done. This is just
you
me
put
being
him on the
super
trade
neutral
block.
as a fan. No, I did not. This is me. I'm
did.
having an out of body experience right now. I am not Mo. Okay, I am not Captain Crayon Eater or whatever you want to call me. All right, this is just me. I got different goggles, different visions right now, and I just see this becoming a thing in the future. But we can move on to the next team.
Mosai Ujiri.
I'll say, no facts. I will say, I think Brandon Ingram and Zion are clearly not a good duo in terms of complementing each other's skill sets, like I've said with previous duos on this list. But he's also just good, so like you can't really do anything about it until you're forced to. Because Brandon Ingram's awesome, and Zion is good right now. We all know he's one of the least reliable stars in the league, probably the most least reliable. Nothing to do with his on-court play, just the fact that he's so injury-prone.
Exactly.
So you can't trade a Brandon Ingram until you get more solidity of what this team's going to look like long-term.
Exactly.
Facts.
I agree. Who next?
Where are we putting the Miami Heat?
Ooh.
Bro, I don't even want. I don't want to talk about that.
Okay, this is witchcraft
listen,
right here.
Just put them in A tier because they always figure out a way and just keep it moving. Like
there might be
they're listen, Bam
The
Bam.
8 seed, they're 11-9.
Who cares? Like, they could be the 11 seed and still find a way to get into the play-in tournament and make a deep run. Like, Bam has taken a leap whenever he's healthy. Jaime Jaquez is fantastic and fits everything that they need. They're going to be okay, and they're going to be just fine. And their infrastructure and their ability to just find ways to win. They're probably going to call somebody up in March and be like, hey, do you want to play basketball tonight? And then he's going to come in and drop 20 and defend like nobody's business. This is just what they do.
Driver.
Exactly. Just put them in A. I don't know what they are. They're just do it.
There's no analysis on the Heat anymore. All we know is they're going to win games, and it doesn't matter what we think because God's on their side.
Yeah.
Just put them
Whichever
in.
God you subscribe to, they're all on the Miami Heat side. They all love Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, they got God on their side and also a heavy law enforcement presence as well. They got the CIA cooking up people in the lab right now. So I mean, like, you can't go against them, to be honest with you.
Facts. Hey man, 2 interesting teams left to close this out. Where are we going with the Pacers?
Super interesting, man. I love this team. Arguably probably the most fun team to watch in the entire NBA, all because of that man Tyrese Halliburton and the offensive engine he is. But we all know they have obviously insane woes, and those woes can only take you so far. So they're anywhere between C or B, but I want to kind of lean towards C.
There's no way that they touch B.
They're not.
I'm glad we're on the same page.
They're between
generous.
C and D. That's what they are.
Yeah. I love them. I am the biggest Tyrese Halliburton fan in the motherfucking world. They are sort of like the Orlando Magic in an inverse way, where great regular season team. The Orlando Magic are propelled by the top defense in the league right now. We know they're not going to have the offensive juice to win a title or anytime soon. Pacers are the same way. They're running it up offensively, the best offense in the league by a wide margin. Piss poor defense that we know is just not going to be competitive in a 7-game series. Their series might look more like 4-game series. It's just not going to happen for them this year. They need to find better defensive talent to flank Tyrese Halliburton over the years as they build this core out. It's not their year to make that leap.
Yeah, let's put them in D. Let's put them in D.
Their offense reminds me of a fucking shotgun with a switch on that bitch, or RPG with a switch on it, on some GTA shit, just constant bang, 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 bang. You know what I'm saying? But those bitches take a hell of a long time to reload, and their kryptonite in reloading is their defense, and anybody can get any type of point against them. You want to dunk? You got him. You want a 3-point shot? You got him. You want to get in mid-range or... Bro, any shot you want, you got them. You know what I'm saying? But when they're on, they're fucking on.
Yeah. Another team that we talked about at length before, go watch our episode 2 episodes ago, the 10 NBA players that are proving people wrong. We talked at length about Tyrese Halliburton and how I think he is just a straight up star now. And he's been even better since then. In the game the other night, in the in-season tournament, he went berserk and just took the Celtics out. Listen, you're listening to this after the semifinals. He might have gone crazy again, and he might be waiting for whoever's coming out of the West in the finals of the in-season tournament. We'll find out in the first 30 minutes of the show. I guess we already know by then.
Yeah.
This is weird time travel. But I also say he's making a leap to easily be a top 5 point guard in the league, pushing top 3 conversations. So they're going to be nasty pretty soon. Not this year. Let's go D.
I'm with that.
Ooh, D?
Yeah.
So
I mean...
Do you not think there's a world in where they might upset a team in the first round?
No,
not at all.
No, they're not winning as currently constructed.
I mean, maybe.
No. As currently,
can they beat the Knicks or the Cavs in the first round? Maybe, but that's the extent I'm going.
Wow.
With the defense that they play, they are not winning a playoff series.
I mean, there's other unserious teams out there. Like if they have a high seed, which they very well can because they're a regular season type of team. They could beat the Knicks. It's conceivable. I wouldn't pick them. I'd pick the Knicks, but there's a world where they make the second round and get just absolutely blasted.
And stop talking about the Knicks like this. They are not losing to these dudes. The Knicks, listen, Jalen Brunson, not Jalen, RJ Barrett will average 30 points playing against the Pacers. Okay, every single night. They don't play defense. No, Mo. They're not winning a playoff series.
Okay, well, we're going Pacers D.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. You're amazing in the regular season, but it's not happening in the playoffs.
Shout out to y'all.
Whatever.
Last team, where are we going? The Sacramento Kings.
Man.
Listen.
They're kind of tricky.
Low-key want to put
C-tier ass team.
Low-key want to put them D.
D.
Nah, I mean
that's crazy.
They're C tier probably. I mean they're the same. They're the same team as the Pacers, but with a better defense, and they have a secondary star. That's the difference.
And they're more advanced.
I mean, you guys know how I feel about that secondary star. I don't believe in him.
Exactly.
Worth the shit come playoff time. For me, in my mind, because I'm standing 10 toes on being anti-Kings in the playoffs. I'm like fucking F, but they probably deserve C respect.
Do they? Do they?
I don't know. Maybe not. I'm not going to argue for them.
Oh, you guys are haters.
They are right now, according to Clean the Glass, they're 21st in defense, and that is bottom 10 in the league. The offense, and while those numbers are skewed because De'Aaron has been out for some time, but the offense isn't as great as it was last year. You could have convinced me a little bit more last year that they were going to win a playoff series against the Warriors in the same way that they're like the Pacers. This year, I would trust the Pacers to win a playoff series before I trust the Kings to win a playoff series.
Wow.
I think if I ask you that question 2 months from now, once we see more time with De'Aaron, you're not going to feel that way.
And they are not impressed. Obviously, they're good on offense, but the level to which they are great offensively does not match their defensive skill.
Well, let's see.
If we're talking winning a championship, I don't think that I can put them in the same tier as the Knicks or as the Cavaliers.
Well, let me see. What has their offensive rating been with De'Aaron Fox on the court? Because that is
That
I think could be a
that's
telling
what
sign.
matters.
Probably
That's
been
what
fucking
matters.
phenomenal.
He's been
I did not see
awesome.
the Kings.
He's been awesome. He's been cooking. And so like listen, it probably is a little bit different. But I just
They have
right now though
on court. Go ahead.
right now, another thing that like I want to monitor is, and I actually need to. I'm gonna check
Say
real
his
quick,
name.
but no,
I hope we're on the same
no,
page.
no, not. It has nothing to do with like a player. I want to see how they
Okay.
perform at home because when I've been going through these teams, a lot of what I'm seeing, and this has been the case for history, is like for you to honestly be in that upper echelon tier, you have to handle your business at the crib, right? Like the Bucks are 10-1 at home. The Nuggets, the Celtics, all of them have 9 wins at home. The TWolves
The
are winning a lot.
Rockets.
All right, now listen, but like
It's
these
true,
teams, these teams are handling their business at home, and so for a team that actually has a legitimate home court advantage, right now they're 6-3, and again that's going to change once De'Aaron plays more games at home because they lost a couple while he wasn't there. But that's also something that I'm monitoring with them, just moving forward.
Yeah, I'm just wanting to give them a C because, like you said, right now we're seeing on screen they have a 119.3 offensive rating with De'Aaron Fox playing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not everything because every star has a high offensive rating when they're playing. There's plenty of minutes where they're not playing. But, you know, like we keep saying it, he's missed a lot of games and it is what it is. They're going to be fine, I think. Their version of fine, to me, is still not somebody I see winning a title by any means. I think they're just not that serious with the way their team's constructed. I don't think that they have the defensive juice. I don't think that they have the offensive juice around Sabonis because I just don't think I see him as a playoff player that can carry you for 3 rounds without being exposed.
Mm-hmm.
But listen, we get the Cavs C. I think they're probably C as well.
All right, cool.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
gonna
with
stay. One thing I'm gonna stay 10 toes on is that I still think that they probably need to figure out what the hell is going on with Keegan Murray. I'm gonna continue to stand on this. Like,
What do you
He
mean
was
what's going
supposed to
on?
be
He's a
the
year 2
third-
player.
yeah, I know he's a year 2 player, but also he was an older rookie, you know. So typically you see these types of players kick into that gear of their NBA career a little bit sooner. But you know what I'm saying, I'm always someone who likes to give people time. But with that being said, I still think if they're gonna go ahead and be a more serious team, lean all in on offense, be the number 1 offense in the NBA, and trade for Zach LaVine. Do it. Triple dog dare.
Triple dog dare. All right, man. Put him in C. This is our tier list. How are we feeling about this? An S tier, I'll read it off for the audio listeners. S tier, Nuggets, Celtics, Bucks. We feel good about that, right?
Yeah.
A tier is the biggest tier, which maybe we got to revisit. Timberwolves, Lakers, 76ers, Suns, Thunder, Miami. Miami's just like, you know, it's a gift. It's a meme.
Exactly.
So take what you will. Do we feel good about that tier?
Yes.
So far,
Okay.
yeah.
B tier, Mavericks, Pelicans.
Huge
Both
swing
ceiling
factors.
plays. This B tier is called iffy now, can be amazing. That's what this
Yeah.
tier is.
It's a swing factor for sure.
It's pure ceiling based on the strength of their best player. C tier, we have the Knicks, Cavs, and Kings.
Okay.
Middle tier playoff teams. I think that's fair. D tier, we have the Warriors, Magic, and Pacers. Teams that we all agree not happening for you this year. For different reasons.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, for sure.
And then F tier, we got a special place in hell for the Clippers.
I didn't even realize that we were
It's
doing
so
this
dark.
in the moment, and it's so funny. Like the Clippers hate is just so ingrained in us
Natural.
that we unconsciously just like, yeah, they're the worst team on here. Like that's great. I love that for us. I love that we're like at that point.
Yeah, it's natural. This is a good list. I'm fine with it. I don't really want to tweak anything.
Once again,
yeah.
a perfect tier list from TD3. We don't make mistakes. We're perfect. We have the best basketball opinions in basketball media. This is great.
Yeah. 50% of people will say that in the comments. 50% would be like, the one with the glasses, idiot. The one with the beard, moron. The one with the do-rag, stupider than dirt. One by one.
Oh hell, man. Oh hell. But regardless of the fact, we all know that they are wrong. We have the best basketball opinions.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
Yeah, I'm just trolling. I'm trolling. But you know what we probably do have? The best of? We have the best basketball TikToks in the universe. And
Not
I got
close.
the crayon eaters. They over here to reassure me that we have some. It's TikTok time.
Let's go. As always, we're going to start with the draft. This week, we're flipping it back to a lineup draft. And today, we're going to draft NBA lineups with only shooting guards, 1 through 5. Should be fun.
Let's do it.
I need this.
You need this?
No.
I
You
need a
don't
win.
this.
I need a win.
I need this. I've been on a 3-4 week drought. I'm like almost a month without a win. So trust me, I'm coming for your next. Wait, am I first for real?
Hey, yo.
Yep. Draft order is Mo, Don, me.
Nice. I like this. Okay.
So, again, only shooting guards. Tell us where you're going first pick, Mo.
Number 1 overall pick. I'd be wrong if I didn't pick the GOAT, MJ.
Okay.
All right.
Will you put him at shooting guard?
Yeah, put him at shooting guard. No, it's only natural.
Yep. Okay.
All right. Sounds good.
I assume Donovan's going to pick James Harden.
At my 3, listen, if you think that you don't know me, all right, I'm not doing that. At my 3, give me Kobe Bryant.
Okay. And if you know me, you know damn well I'm putting James Harden at my point guard automatically.
Nice.
Are we counting him?
Yeah, he's a shooting guard.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
I thought he was a point
He's-
guard.
No, historically,
Nah,
he's
he's
known
a
as a
shooting
shooting guard. He's going to go down as a shooting guard for sure.
Yeah.
Whack.
And on my power forward, give me Dwayne Wade. Got a shot blocker, slasher extraordinaire. It's gonna be a great pick and roll partnership.
Nice.
Okay. Well, I want some more shooting with my shooting guards. So at my 2, give me Ray Allen.
Ray Allen over Klay Thompson. Interesting.
Very, very interesting. Okay.
He can handle the ball. Listen, we're dribblers over here.
We're dribblers over here.
Straight bag 1 through 5.
Okay, cool. So with that being said, go ahead and just give me Klay Thompson. I'm gonna put him at my 3, and then at
I
my
wanted
4,
him to do that.
At my 4, I need some size. Give me Vince Carter.
That's
okay.
nice.
That's
Okay.
what I was thinking. At my 4, give me
Please
his
don't pick my pick. Please don't pick my pick.
give me his cousin. I want Tracy McGrady.
Okay,
You can have
that's
him.
nice.
He's not defending nothing at the 4. At my 5, give me Clyde Drexler.
He was on my list.
Big body down low.
Okay, cool.
I'm gonna stand on Clyde Drexler's right set. I cannot talk, and I messed up the joke. Dang it! Either way, I'm
It's
not
not even gonna be funny no more.
Listen,
Damn.
it's okay. I'm gonna just give basketball analysis. I'm sending Clyde Drexler left, and he is gonna look like a middle school basketball player. He can't go. He can't go left.
That's hilarious. Okay, y'all need. I got my 2 and 3 left. Y'all got your 2s. I could go a lot of places with this. Do I want to win the heart of the fans or be smart?
Dumb brain.
You know what? I'm going for the most talent possible.
No.
Give me Allen Iverson next to James Harden.
Ew. You ain't playing no
pick.
defense.
That was my pick.
These are all shooting guards. Nobody's playing defense.
Gross.
Listen, D Wade's blocking shots on the other end. I'm good.
You think D Wade saving your life? The Flash can only do so much.
Now I'm actually upset because Nikhil's out here making the graphic, and by my name in parentheses he put Don Stutter, and I'm very upset.
Oh my god!
I'm actually very upset at that. I don't like that. I don't like that. We're gonna be talking about that after the show.
You had a nerve.
Yeah. All right. At my 1, give me Manu Ginobili.
Okay. Good passer.
Okay. Nice. I did not want him at all. So at my 5, give me George Gervin. And then at my 1, give
Good
me
pick.
even more spacing Reggie Miller.
Fuck, I was
This
going to pick
draft
him.
is over. I won. I should walk off this set right now. But I'm not.
I don't know if I'd be as confident as you.
Yeah, I know
but
about
you do
that.
got Jordan.
Yeah,
you
I
got
am.
Jordan, but I don't know about the rest of the team.
All right.
Who is? Okay.
Here is what we're gonna do. Ginobili's gonna stay at the 1. Everybody else is gonna slide down 1. So I'm gonna have McGrady at my center, Kobe at my 4, Ray Allen at my 3, and at my 2, I want one of the original bad boy Pistons. Give me Joe Dumars.
Oh, that's
Ooh,
solid.
okay.
I love that. It's a sleeper pick.
That's interesting. I like that. You need that intensity on your team.
Yeah.
You know what? Which way I'll go with this? None of you guys have a good defense on your team. I got plenty of scoring. Give me Tony Allen at my 3.
Oh, you're not cooking shit. You are not
I'm locking
shooting
down.
at all.
I'm locking
you got
down.
D-Wade, Drexler,
You
and
don't
Tony
understand
Allen.
that. Exactly. You listen. You don't understand. All of our teams are just straight bags. Tony Allen can handle one guy. He's not handling the other 4. Should have went for firepower.
Oh, man, that's hilarious. Yeah, man. I got Reggie Miller, Clay, Vince Carter, and obviously MJ. There's only so much. Tony Allen, he's going to have a brain aneurysm trying to figure this defense out. Can't do it.
Listen, you got MJ. We know how it goes. Whatever. You have to go in a very top-heavy draft. We know how it works.
The drought is over. I won.
By default.
Did he though?
Finally.
Did he?
Yes.
Probably. I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know.
We'll let the
I don't
comments
know.
decide.
Yeah.
Space
All
it.
right. My team, though,
I
for
want
audio
it.
listeners, I have Manu Ginobili at my point guard, Joe Dumars at my shooting guard, Ray Allen at the 3, Kobe at the 4, and then Tracy McGrady at the 5.
Nice. So for my team, audio listeners, point guard Reggie Miller, shooting guard MJ, Klay Thompson at my 3, power forward Vince Carter, and center 6'7" George Gervin. Iceman. Let's do it.
Nice. I got James Harden, or how would I put it? I put Allen Iverson, James Harden, Dwayne Wade, Tony Allen, Clyde Drexler.
Yeah. Allen Iverson's getting posted up every play.
I probably got, I don't know. I mean, dude, Dwayne Wade, Tony Allen. I got the biggest front court, and I think probably the most defense.
I mean,
Besides,
listen,
besides Harden, just Harden. But,
you do have the most defense because you have Tony Allen, but like
AI
you
and
still got
Harden,
James Harden.
that's not moving me. The
D
ball
Wade
ain't-
and Drexler down low. I got size and shot blocking.
you honestly should put. I mean, listen, I know Harden can play point, but like you honestly should put Harden down low. Let
Hit the power forward.
yeah.
Oh yeah, post defense OD for sure. Yeah, but I think you messed up. I love the Tony Allen pull though. He belongs nowhere on this list though for sure. But I love him. You just said fuck it at that point. I love it. I would do the same thing if I were you.
All right, man. Next video we're gonna do. I think let's change it up. Let's do a variation of 20 questions. We haven't done this in a long time.
Okay.
We're going to do it, but instead of you have 20 questions to guess the NBA player I'm thinking of, you guys are going to have 1 minute to guess the player I'm thinking of.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good.
So
Unlimited questions.
Yeah, he's got 60 seconds. And Nikhil's going to pull up a timer right now. Let's make
Okay,
it full
that's
screen,
stretch.
make it nice and big. And yeah, how hard should I make this for you guys?
All right, listen. Don't be ridiculous. Sometimes
Okay, I'm not
you
going to
try
be
to
ridiculous.
Thank you.
It's 60 seconds. I can't go too crazy. Okay. Y'all have 1 minute to guess the NBA player I'm thinking of. Go.
Is this
Iman
player
Shumpert.
active?
Yes.
Active player. Okay.
Is this player
Has this
black?
player made an
Is he
Done.
black? Yes.
okay All-Star?
Yes,
Are they-
previously.
Are they a champion?
Previously All-Star.
Not a champion.
Not a champion. Ooh. Okay. Cool.
Are they a
Not
starter?
champion. That was a good
Yes, they're a
question.
starter.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Did they play?
Speed it up. Stop humming.
Did they play mostly in the Western Conference?
So it's split. Right now they're in the East.
Backcourt
Split
player?
right now in the East.
No, they're not a backcourt player.
Okay, so they're front court. Okay, could this
Power-
be?
Power forward?
He's a forward. I wouldn't say power forward.
Were they
2-3.
were they drafted in the last 10 years?
No, he's been in the league for longer than that.
Damn, who the hell is this?
Oh,
Cook,
10 seconds
Cook,
left.
Cook. Okay,
Come on, Mo.
did he play for? Hold on, shit.
He's a Western Conference.
Paid.
Pacific Division.
You guys suck. Time up. DeMar DeRozan. You guys did horrible.
Oh my god, I didn't like this game, bro. Fuck this game.
Wait, did you say Eastern Conference?
Yeah, I say he's in the East right now.
Oh, I heard. Oh, okay. Oh, you said right.
He said he played majority in the West. I was like, no, it's split, but he's in the East right now.
You said it's flip. I thought you said it's split, as if like he played half and half.
No, he's been in both. Like, 'cause
I know
he
what
was
you
on
mean.
Spurs.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought you
Yeah.
meant like you spent an equal
I
time
see.
in his career for both.
Nah,
That
man,
fucking-
listen, you get the timer on you, questions just start
Yeah,
falling.
the timer
you just
is
can't
what fucks you.
formulate it. It's
It's
hard.
like you got a
Donovan,
gun
you
to
go.
your head.
Let's do it again. Donovan, you go. Let me
All
try
right.
and guess. See if I can do better.
All right. Hold on. Wait. Let me.
I mean, I didn't make it too hard. I picked
no.
a very notable
That
player.
was good. That was good. All right. Wait. Let me get this guy's numbers up so I can answer. Okay. We're good to go. Are you guys ready?
Okay. Yep.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
Is he a current player?
No.
Okay,
Has
he's
he won a
tired. Did he play in the
championship?
East?
No.
Did he play in the East?
No.
So he didn't
He's a
win a
Western Conference
championship,
player. No. Is he a guard?
Okay.
No.
He's a center?
right?
Yes.
Did he make an All-Star team?
Yes.
This is Joakim Noah.
No.
DeMarcus Cousins.
Yes.
Damn.
Let's go!
There we go. There
I
we
told
go.
you this shit is
There we
easy.
go.
25
There we go.
seconds.
He got it. He
There
got it.
you
He
go.
got it.
Y'all out here folding. This shit is easy.
Yeah, man, this game is not for me.
You threw a dart.
I said Joakim Noah. That was my best guess. That wasn't a bad one either.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, that's how
I don't even know if I'll make a TikTok out of that. That was so fast and so just go.
Yeah, no. It's a terrible
I didn't even think to make it entertaining.
Yeah, it's a terrible TikTok.
That's
Okay.
hilarious.
Well, listen, we just did that for us, just to see if we can stay sharp.
Yeah, exactly. We're just, iron sharpens iron. We got to stay on top of our game,
Just
not get
practice.
washed in the 20 questions game. All right, next thing we're going to do. I'm going to name some. Okay, we're going to talk about all-time rankings. Donovan's favorite thing to talk about, notably.
Love it.
But it's not going to be about your current all-time rankings.
Okay.
I'm going to ask you about current players and where you think they're going to rank by the time they retire.
Okay.
So a little projecting to when they're done.
Might be some hating.
Yep. So this player's playing now. Where do you think they'll rank all time when they retire? First up, Luka Doncic.
Luka Doncic could easily be top 30. Okay, I don't want to say easily, but he could be top 30.
Oh, he could definitely be top 30.
No,
Listen, 5 seasons, 4 first-team All-NBAs. Top
He could
30 is
already-
very reasonable.
He could retire right now and he's a Hall of Famer.
Yes, that's
Well-
true. He can listen. I think God, Lee, I cannot talk today. I think he can easily be top 30 whenever he retires. But
That's the floor, I think.
He's gonna have to get some championships. He's gonna have to get some MVPs, right? A finals appearance, maybe. Step it up.
If
Luka.
he can give us 2 MVPs at least and one championship, just one, then I think he solidified himself in history as a top 30 player. If he continues this insane run that
That's
he's been
reasonable.
on.
Listen, James Harden's like the 30th best player of all time, and he can easily surpass that without a championship.
Yeah.
If he wins 2 MVPs and wins a championship and is this level of player for 10 to 15 years,
He might be top.
I think that's going to be a top 20 player at least.
I was gonna push him to say he might be top 15 if he can
All
win
right,
a championship and 2 MVPs.
It's hard to
All
get
right,
there.
we're
It's hard to
okay.
get there.
Top 15 is kind of
I'm
crazy.
pushing it.
Don't
But
do
listen, we talk about Giannis maybe being like 19 or 20 right now. Same with Jokic. Like, if he gets a ring and 2 MVPs, he can be in that same range.
Yeah, I agree.
it. Is he gonna pass?
Top 20.
Is he gonna pass Jerry West? Who knows?
Get outta here.
All right, man. Next up, Giannis.
I mean, we already talked.
He's
listen,
already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
already
already
pretty high.
top. He's already high. He's already kind of top 20. He has the potential to be top 15.
I would agree. Top 15.
Top 15, I mean, that's easy to project if he keeps doing what he's doing,
Yeah.
maybe gets another ring. Is there a world he cracks into top 10 ranges?
The
Rings are
only
gonna have
way
to
he
stack up.
cracks into top 10 if he goes again a back-to-back MVP, maybe a back-to-back MVP along with a DPOY along that and also a ring. That right there, that's like okay.
You want him to have
You
4
might have
MVPs and 2 DPOYs?
No, either a MVP or MVP with a DPOY and then a championship as well. So it's like he has to do a lot and it would crack that top 10 list.
Yeah. It's also hard because of his style of play. It's hard to imagine him having like LeBron Curry type longevity. So maybe top 15 is like where he's going to end up.
Yeah, and that's not bad at all. It's insane.
Yeah, he also might just stay top 20, kind of where he is now. Like maybe this is just going to be where he's at. Maybe his major accomplishments are done.
Even if he adds one more ring, I can't see him. I can't really justify putting him in top 10, top 15, like confidently.
Yeah.
Even if he wins
And
one
there's-
more, he needs to be doing.
There's going to
needs
be
do
at
more.
least like 15 players that are better at their peak than him. He'll have to just have like a really, really, really great resume to be in those conversations. So I don't really see it.
He got Lillard on his team now. Anything is
Yeah,
possible.
maybe.
Don't fumble. Don't fumble.
All right, next up, his all-time running mate, Nikola Jokic. They're neck and neck.
About the same range. Like they
No.
have.
This man
What?
could be top 10 if he really wanted to by them in his career. And I just don't know if he'll have the longevity. Is as hard as in the game? I don't know, because he likes horses way too much. But
Oh my God, shut up.
Listen, he already plays old man basketball, so his game isn't even based on like athleticism like that. So
Exactly.
he's
He can
gonna be
move around.
okay.
Yeah. I think he has a higher peak all time potentially because that little offensive player that he is going to age gracefully. He can continue to do this. We're just seeing him enter his championship window. He's going to be able to be argued for having one of the best peaks of all time in terms of skill, and he has opportunity to stack up championships. Top 10 ceiling, but maybe top 15, top 20 floor.
Facts.
yeah, top 24 for sure. Top 24 for sure.
Yeah.
But he could easily walk into top 10 by the end of his career.
Yeah, he's a lot of room to go, but he can get himself onto like pushing Mount Rushmore of center stocks.
For sure.
2 more championships, and I might put him there.
All right.
Got a
wait.
long way to go though, so we'll see. All right, next up, Steph Curry.
Listen, we're actually.
Last year,
isn't
he got him in
doing
top 10
any-
stocks.
Listen, he's not. Listen, another ring will not touch Steph Curry's hands. So I think top 10 is a very fair place to say.
So you're saying where he is now is where he's going to stay?
Yep.
Yeah, there ain't no moving. There's zero chance in hell he goes ahead and wins another championship unless he switches teams, but that ain't happening in a million years. So he's pretty much going to be top 10 for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
What if he has like LeBron type longevity? What if he has like LeBron type of longevity and he's this good when he's 40? Is that going to change it for you?
The Warriors still going to be ass, so no. They're never going to be bad enough as long as he's on that team, even with that longevity, to net out a high draft pick. And on top of that, who knows where Clay and Draymond's going to be at, and it's just not realistic.
Yeah. At this point,
Yeah, I can see him getting as high as like 7 or 8, but top 5 is going to, I don't know if he's going to be able to build his resume well enough.
Yeah, it's about hardware in this. Now, what he can do though, if Steph messed around and got another MVP to his name, that would be kind of crazy. So that could be
that'd be
the
crazy.
one thing.
Okay, well, it seems like we all think top 10, he's probably going to stay here.
Yeah.
Yeah, top 10 is fair.
Okay, next up, Anthony Davis.
Fat man himself?
I mean, listen, he
Oh
can
my
stay
God.
on he could stay on the NBA 75. Like he could.
Yeah. I don't
I mean, he's obviously
know.
a top 75 player.
Exactly.
He's probably pushing top 50 right now. He's probably like in the 60s. He's probably like in the 60s or so. Can you see him getting to the top 40?
No.
There's no way he does that unless like the Lakers win another championship and he is the best player on that team. But I do not envision that happening at all. So 50, 60, 70, it doesn't matter. He's in that range.
I'm not doing this.
Well, damn.
I'm just not doing this. He's not going to be top 40. I don't think.
Yeah, that's
I don't
a
think
stretch.
that's his range. He's great. He's not like that though.
Top
Damn.
50?
Everything
I'm not having
would
those
have to go right.
conversations.
Listen,
You guys are giving me nothing in this one. I'm just going to keep going.
Let me get back-to-back games in the playoffs with 30 points. Let me stop all this up and down stuff, and then maybe you could be top 50, and maybe I'll think about it.
All right. Next up, Kawhi Leonard.
He's a
He's
tricky one.
He's so weird to talk about.
Very hard. Incredibly hard to rank.
This is a question
Right
that we have
now-
to ask. Does he even want to be in the top 50? Look at this face. He looks like he doesn't care about anything. We can leave him. We can just leave him on the list just because he doesn't care and put somebody else in. Anthony Davis could take his spot. We could do that. Anthony Davis can take his
I
spot.
mean, right now he's probably like what in the 35 to 40 range or so.
I would say he's top 30. On the lower half
Okay,
of 30. though.
if he's top 30, he's barely top 30.
Yeah.
Are we at the point now where his best days are behind him? We don't really see him going up any higher.
Oh, 100%.
What if he
100%.
won another championship though and MVP? 2018 or
He's
2019?
not
Dude,
winning an
you know-
MVP.
What
Mo.
if
An
oh,
MVP?
finals MVP? What if that happens?
Mo, he is
Yeah, he would go
playing
higher, but do you see that?
for the Clippers right now. And they just traded for James Harden. Do you think a championship is going towards his resume anytime soon? Not at all.
Damn, bro. It all comes
Not
back to
at
the
all.
Clippers, I guess. Never mind.
Listen,
All right, so
No.
top 30 is his ceiling. Top 40 is guaranteed.
you are not moving up the all-time list, Kawhi Leonard.
Damn.
I'm happy you're happy.
Listen,
That's not happy.
he's enjoying sunny California. That's all that matters.
Exactly.
All right, next up, Joel Embiid.
Ew. I don't know. The MVP
Listen.
is nice, but he is not winning any more of those unless he has a successful playoff run. Make it past the second round challenge. I dare you. Until then, I don't know where to rank him, bro.
Fuck the bucket of ice. If you can make it past 1 second round challenge, I'll donate $1 million to a charity of your choice.
Yeah.
Our audience is not going to understand that reference at all.
They're not.
Some
It's
of them
it's
will,
okay.
though. Shout out to
It's
y'all who
okay.
do.
Yeah. What's not
Yeah.
okay?
If you guys
is-
understand that reference, comment it right now. Comment where that's from. Let me know.
Yeah.
What's not okay is Joel Embiid choking every time he gets into the playoffs. So like I'll say like what top 60 right now. Shout out to the MVP, right? Listen, send it back to Kendrick Perkins. He got it to you off of race relations. So like
Damn.
that's cool. But nah, I think top 60 is where he's at right now.
If he
Yeah, I was going to
miraculously,
say top 75.
if he miraculously has a single run where he wins a championship, then I could say he's top 50, like for sure, comfortably, you know?
Yeah, he needs a chip. And the problem is it's hard to envision his style of play with his body type aging incredibly gracefully. So I don't know how many more years of MVP level play he has. But let's say he wins one more MVP, never wins a championship. Top 65, 70?
That's
listen,
fair.
Listen, that's a cool career. If you did that in 2K, I'd be very happy with how I played.
He'll probably
Doing
be
that
in the
in
same range as
2K.
AD.
Yeah. Doing that in 2K, that's shameful. 2K.
Now for
2K
no
is-
championship
Yeah, no,
in
that's
2K,
shameful.
you suck.
The worst 2K player of all time. What?
All right, next up, Jason Tatum.
He's hella young. Hasn't won an MVP yet. Hasn't won an NBA Finals. But he's
He's
consistently
knocking on
towards the
those
top.
doors, though.
He better
Yeah, he's
do it.
knocking on those doors.
He better do it. Listen,
You better burst in.
exactly. Right now, I would say top 75. He has the ability to get there. Like Mo said, win something. Do something. Get it. Listen, next year, I know you just got bounced out. Get an in-season tournament, right? Get an NBA Cup. Get a scoring championship. Get
NBA Cup.
I don't know.
Oh my God.
Get an
Season
All-Star
tournament
Game
cup?
MVP. Jason Tatum, can you get one trophy to put in your trophy glass? It's empty right
He
now.
got an All-Star Game MVP.
You better rack up those Eastern Conference Finals MVPs.
Oh,
Oh,
he's
yeah,
living
look
off
at
of
that
those.
trophy case up.
He's making his money off of those.
Oh, he's going out sad.
No, yeah, he's definitely. He'll probably be like a top 70 player all time, maybe.
I
If
wonder
he gets hardware, he can get higher.
Cool
but
dude though.
he hasn't even started the hardware yet.
I wonder if he could ever be one of the two best players in the NBA, just like at his current stage.
No.
At whatever stage of
I
his
don't-
career. And I don't think so. So that's a
I
huge
don't see it.
handicap to his career.
Yeah, I agree. That's a good way to put it. He's never going to be one of the best players alive, which is minimum necessary to be like a top 30 guy.
Yeah. He's always in that one of the best 6 to 7. Probably
Yeah,
5.
exactly.
So it's going to be hard to put him there.
Jason Tatum,
Listen,
I hope
man.
you hear this. I hope you hear this. What are you prepared to do? Nobody believes in you. All right. You gonna let somebody come into your house, eat your meal? What are you prepared to do about it?
What are those
Jason
recipes?
I believe in you, and so does Deuce. We're with you.
The power of fatherhood is not making him top 40 all time. I'm sorry.
Are you kidding me? He's
Listen,
an
Fred
incredible
Van
family
Vliet won a
man.
championship because he became a father. he need to have another kid. He might
Deuce
win a
is like
3-peat.
5. It hasn't worked yet.
If he gets another
Damn.
kid, he might get a 3-peat. Who knows?
That's hilarious. All right, we can move on to the next video. Next thing we do, listen, I know this pod was a long ass tier list. That's not a tier list for shorts. Right now, we're going to do a tier list specifically for shorts.
Lit.
And Mo, I think you have some NBA celebrations to show us.
Yeah, man. We did this a couple of months ago. It was a hit. Everyone loved it. And now, this time, we're going to go ahead and put these NBA celebrations into a tier list. Some are old school, some are new school. We're just going to go ahead and see what the vibes are at. So, first up, what do we got? Ooh, this is a new classic. Trae Young's It's Too Damn Cold in Here. It's a shiver.
This is hard. I'm not going to lie. I'm not the most pro Trae Young person in the world, but he made a good celebration when he made this. This is tough.
Listen, it's cool. I would want to put it high up, but he doesn't do it anymore because he can't celebrate because his team be losing. So let's drop it down. Let's drop it down.
No.
No, this
bro.
celebration's washed. C
No.
tier.
Hell no. Y'all are haters, bro.
He
This
hasn't
should
done
be
this since
actually-
2021. Look at the jersey.
Listen, I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, this gift is old, but
He hasn't done this shit since Trump was in office. No, this is over.
Bro, that gotta be at least an A tier or B tier at minimum. Stop
Put it in
hating.
C. It's washed, cooked.
Ah, you guys are haters, bro.
Exactly. There you go. C for cooked.
C for cook is hilarious. What's next?
What's next?
Oh yeah. Next up, we got Robin Lopez's cup of tea.
What the hell is he doing?
Role players having celebrations
stupid.
should be banned.
This is stupid.
This is tough. This is hard.
This is
I
incredibly
ever
irritating.
If we're ever playing basketball and I see you doing this, we're done playing. Go home. I'm sick
It's
of
like
it.
he's telling you off in sign language. It's like, what are you saying to me, man?
You
Are
know
you
what this
trying to
is?
curse at me?
You know what
What?
this is?
What?
Put my monocle on. It's classy. Give this an A. Give
That's
this
hard.
an A.
This is
tough.
C for classy. This is C for
Oh,
classy.
man.
That's what that is.
I'm gonna meet
Lucky
you
I
guys
was
in the
giving it
middle.
an F.
Let's put it at B. B is hard.
There
B
we
is
go.
fair. B is fair. He's the worst player to ever have a celebration, and I commend him for that.
This is so
Hard.
dumb.
Yeah. What's next? Next up, we got Jalen Brunson's 3-point celebration. I'm gonna say it right now. This shit is an F. This is ass. It's terrible.
What's wrong with this?
What is this? How many fingers is he holding up right here? That is
Yeah, I don't know
4.
what's going on either.
That is 4. And he just hit it. He does it when he hits threes. The calculation
What is
is
he-
not calculated.
is this-
Listen, nobody
Two-
knows
two in
what
the
it
pink, one in
means,
the
but it's
stink?
provocative and it's hard. Put it in A
It doesn't
tier.
make sense though. If you're gonna do something, make it make sense.
You know what? When you see this, you know what you just saw. You saw greatness. It's you see it more than this. That's good.
This is D.
This
Doesn't
is
move
D.
me.
This stinks. This reeks. Who the hell is actually doing this in public? If you do this, something you have already knows and you're just trying to run away.
Yeah, looks like he got a bloody nose. He's
Yeah.
running to the fucking nurse's office.
Yeah, exactly. Looks like a geek. It's trash.
Y'all hate
But,
greatness.
hey.
Excuse me.
Y'all hate greatness.
It's
I
running
don't
away as if
understand
you
why.
smell the most vile shit ever. Meanwhile, he's just watching Julius Randle ISO for a break on top of the backboard.
POV, your teammate is RJ Barrett.
Mo, don't you start. Don't you start. All right. Don't
You want to
start.
start these DeAndre Hunter versus RJ Barrett debates? I'm with it. I'm with it. Let's
Mid
do it.
off, mid off.
Let's not start this.
Turn it up. All right, let's move on. It's a
Oh
D.
man, it's hilarious. Oh man, next up we got Malik Beasley doing a thug shake, shaking that ass in your face after he hits a 3-pointer. He is twerking in your face. What do you do?
I missed
What do you
this.
rate this?
Wow.
When did he do this?
He's been doing this
Oh,
since
this is-
Minnesota days. Did this with the Lakers
Listen.
too.
I'm a man who likes audacity. This is some audacious shit coming from Malik Beasley. Put this in S tier. I don't care.
It's already hard enough to play defense in the NBA. If you shoot a 3 in my face and I turn around, you're not trying to play defense. Instead, you shaking that ass in front of me. I don't want to play basketball no more. My shoe's going upside of your head.
Listen, if I was Pat Connaughton and I was running past him, I'd hate this shit. But as a passive observer, this is hilarious. Put this in S tier.
Nah, man. What happened to the game that I love? Well, what happened?
Exactly.
What happened?
What happened to men? They used to be bored. It's even
We used
worse.
to build houses.
It's even worse, bro. He be putting his hand on the heads of his head, shaking that shit too, having mad turbulence. So I'm
No.
like, yo, he even has Damian
Mad
Lillard doing
turbulence
this
is
shit, bro. Dame Dollar, the rapper. God.
All right, let's move on. S tier.
Oh, next up, we got Russell Westbrook's That's My Son.
This is S tier.
Ooh.
This is S tier.
This is S.
Everybody, the influence from this celebration is unmatched. Everybody wants to do this, and it doesn't matter if you are the smaller person. You get a bucket in the paint. You do this. This is S tier.
Yeah, this is like his variation of Too Small. Took it to a whole other level. He's innovating on his previous classics. Exactly what you want from a celebration maestro. S tier.
Yeah. This is demoralizing, man. This is demoralizing, and it would have me questioning my manhood if this happened to me on the park. And sadly, it has.
Now you're getting posted up by a 14-year-old putting you in hell.
Bro, I met a 14-year-old person who watched our videos. Bro was like 6'5", putting me in the paint. Swear to God. It was ridiculous. It's like DeMarcus Cousins in that bitch. It was ridiculous, but I still beat him now.
All right, S tier.
Yeah, what's next? That's S tier for sure. Ooh, next up, we have the all-time classic Mutombo finger wag.
Back-to-back S tiers. I don't even want to hear any words discussing it. It was something so great. It transcended basketball culture. This made its way into American pop culture. You saw it in commercials everywhere. All-time celebration.
Nothing but facts. This will be something that our kids will be doing for many, many years and generations to come.
Before I knew who Mutombo was, I saw a commercial, him going, and I knew about him.
Facts.
Nah, it's hard.
What's your...
It's hard, yeah. S tier.
Yeah. Facts, exactly. What's next? Ooh, next up, we got Steph Curry's no-look 3. Easily, is probably the most disrespectful celebration ever.
Is this a 3P in S celebrations?
I think it might be, because this is some douchebag shit, and I love it. I love when Steph Curry is in full asshole mode, and this is just like the best version of that.
To have the confidence to do this in an NBA game is just absolutely ridiculous.
Exactly.
Bro.
Like I said, reward audacity, and you can't be more audacious, because this literally can result in you looking so unbelievably stupid, you're a meme forever, like Swaggy P.
And he does it all the time. All the time.
He risked this night in, night out for us.
You telling me I'm trying to play my hardest on defense, and before the shot even going, you don't even pay me no mind, and you're already running around the other end? Who am I?
That's so disrespectful.
Yeah. Who am I? This is an easy S, bro. And not everybody can do this too. It's only him.
Yeah, nobody else is this type of level of douchebag to do this type of cool shit. It's impossible.
Yeah, exactly. You're right. This is easy S. Probably
It's
the
101.
best. Yeah. What's next? I think that is it.
That's all of them. That's our tier list. Listen, we opted to let you see the plays instead of seeing the tier list. You just got to imagine where everything's laid out right now. I don't fucking remember. That was great. Man. Next thing we're going to do something kind of like a variation of what we did earlier when we talked about where they're going to rank all time. But instead of talking about where NBA players' career like ranks up against other people, I want to know that if you were an NBA player, I could not talk. I'm on Dawn time. If you were an NBA player, which NBA player's career would you rather have? Simple. Let's go. This all stems from one specific Twitter debate, so that'll be in here. You guys will see.
I already know what it is, and I'm ready to stand.
Who had the better career, Allen Iverson or Paul Pierce?
Easily.
As much as I don't want to say it. Whoa, really? Allen Iverson? After he went out so sad and was a journeyman, bro?
He won an MVP, lost in a finals, and people still consider that he won one game in a final series. And people consider that to be a major accomplishment. People clown on Paul Pierce every day. People forget that he was like a great player. No, I want to be Allen Iverson.
You can keep that fucking ring. Paul Pierce will be known in legacy forever for shitting himself, for not being Kobe, for not getting a farewell tour, for shitting himself, for everything besides being good at basketball. Meanwhile, Allen Iverson has the most propaganda ever. Yeah, exactly. Meanwhile, Allen Iverson has the most adoration I've ever seen from an athlete. I would love to be Allen Iverson. He's Teflon in any city he goes to forever.
Bro, he has players who are greater than him saying that you are the reason why I am the player today, a la D Wade. Yeah, I'm going to Allen Iverson for sure.
Yeah, that's easy. That's easy.
The most glazed NBA player in history. It's fantastic. I would love to be him.
And you would love to. Same. Yeah, for sure. Whoa. Iconic. Yeah, iconic. I mean, you're right. It goes from the play style to the braids, the tattoos, and all that shit, bro. Like, it's the truth. He is the first player in NBA history, or maybe second player in NBA history who had all-time aura. It starts with this man right here.
Oh, he's the origin of aura. He is the originator of this genre of player.
Yeah.
All right, next up, Carmelo Anthony or Andre Iguodala?
So this is hard, man. So are you about your Bucks, or do you want to go out with a win?
Listen, we play the game to win. It's all about hardware. But I don't know. Carmelo Anthony made a lot of money.
No,
a lot of points scored.
He did.
Who the hell?
Listen, he did make a lot of money, but I think Iggy kind of has a combination of both, because there was a point where Iggy like was actually like that and he was disgusting. Yeah. And so to have that portion of your career and the version where you can go be like the best role player in the game and win several championships, I think I might take that.
Yeah, that is true. But
and it's not just championships. He's an integral part of the greatest team of all time. Like, he's going to be remembered forever.
yeah, he is gonna be remembered forever, but not for like influential purposes. Because be real, who the hell's growing up be like, I want to be like Andre Iguodala. I want to have the same exact play style as Andre Iguodala. Nobody in the history is doing that. Although a lot of people in history
Carmelo's
would love
son's
to
favorite
have.
player is Paul George.
Yeah.
Not too much on Kyan. Not too much on Kyan.
No, I'm just saying that like kids today aren't growing up like, oh, I want to be like Melo. Like he didn't. The reason
That's
he
because
doesn't
they
have
don't
that
know
type
what
of
real
impact on-
basketball is, Isaac. Okay, they don't understand that you have to catch the ball at the high post, at the elbow, jab step 6-7 times, right? Understand angles. They don't know what that's like. They don't understand that. Okay,
Yeah. I think being
you
a
getting
player
me
like
hyped up for no reason.
having Andre Iguodala's career will put me at the most peace.
Also,
I'm
he
taking
got
this.
bro. Iggy has a Finals MVP.
That is true.
True.
That carries heavyweight. Heavyweight.
I guarantee you, Melo would love to have one of those. Let's go, Iggy.
100%.
Yeah, Iggy's easy.
But also, I'd definitely rather be Melo.
Just cool.
Next up, Anthony Davis versus Kyrie Irving.
Ooh, this is a good ass matchup.
It's not. It's not a matchup.
Listen, Anthony Davis has always been the better player. Doesn't fucking matter. One of them is the most hated star in recent NBA history. One of them is like Allen Iverson, where he's Teflon forever. Kyrie can do anything he wants. He will be adored by the masses. Give me that livelihood over being Anthony Davis, where Shaq's calling you a bitch every time you have a decent game.
Yeah,
No, listen,
they both already
100%.
won a championship. So at this point, who is cooler? Who's made the most money? Maybe AD may make a little bit more because of longevity purposes. But I'm taking Kyrie Irving. He's set for life.
Listen, it doesn't matter what Kyrie does. For the rest of time, everybody who plays basketball is going to say, listen, if we're going pound for pound, Kyrie's the most skilled player of all time. Like he gets he gets that label. So
That's
yeah,
a
I'm
crazy
taking
label.
Kyrie.
There's just one random day in 2018 where everyone just accepted that was facts forever and nobody looked back.
Yeah,
This man just became, he's just like AI. Eventually somebody decided AI is the most influential player ever and we never argued it. They're the same guy.
But also, Kyrie has one of the most important shots in NBA history in a game 7 to beat a 73-9 team. Like, yeah, he got it.
And after that, his career ends and nothing else matters and it doesn't have to matter. That's why I'm taking Kyrie Irving. Anthony Davis
Facts,
could win
nothing has mattered for 6 years.
Exactly. Anthony Davis could win 2 more championships and no one's going to give a damn about that, bro. Someone's going to say he should have won 4. It doesn't matter.
Actually, he should have won a championship every 2 months. Like he's gonna do something every time.
That impression was hilarious. Need to stop settling. Gross.
He doesn't want it bad enough. That was me. I'd be talking every time.
Nah, keep going.
All right, next up, Russell Westbrook or Tony Parker.
Oh, Tony Parker was a bastard. He was hitting his teammates' wives. I don't want to go down like that. Give me Russell Westbrook.
Yo.
That's the truth. You went out so sad and you retired as a Charlotte Hornet? Yuck. Gross.
Listen. If we're talking about going out sad, we've had a going out sad tour for Russell Westbrook for like a year and a half now. Like he's better now,
true.
but like still.
We give him redemption because he went to the Clippers and averaged like, never mind, even not even showing.
Listen, it is okay though. Give me Russell Westbrook's career. I was an MVP and I made more money. I'm taking that.
Yeah, exactly.
Give me the infidel.
Oh,
Tony Parker is the man in his country. He is a French legend, part of a dynasty. Brought them the most glory brought them the most glory that French basketball has ever seen. Give me his career.
The only
You,
thing
sir, are moved by Eva Longoria. That's what that is. That's what that is.
I didn't even factor that in the equation. That's hilarious.
Yeah, no. The only thing about Westbrook's career that's like the only reason why I might pick Tony is because people ain't finna be slandering my last name at my children's school. That's not gonna happen. That's embarrassing
Russ
for a
gets
lifetime.
so much hate. Tony Parker is the man where he's from. He can just live in peace and chill forever and just be that dude.
He's a
Every
dual
time a French
citizen.
prostitute,
He's a dual citizen in San Antonio and in France. He can do no wrong.
Yeah.
he's gonna have a statue in both. I bet he already does.
This man
As soon
runs
as
the
someone's
Riverwalk.
Bro.
Churros
As
for
soon as
life.
someone notices that your last name is
Oh,
I can't even say it. Yo, that's hilarious.
I can't talk.
God. Yo. Oh,
God.
man. No.
all right, man. That's the end of that segment. We got one more video left before we get out of here. Mo, I think you once again have something to show us. And this time I heard a little birdie told me that we're looking at some NBA tattoos.
Yeah, man. Whoever that birdie is, you're a snitch. But yeah, we're looking at an NBA tattoos. And we did this a couple months ago. It was a hit. Some are going to be good. Some are going to be bad. And we're here to go ahead and be the judge of them all, Crown Eaters. Let's do this.
So what are we going to do? Are we going to rate them from 1 to 10 or are we going to grade them?
We're going to rate them from 1 to 10.
All right.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Say less.
Actually, no, screw that. Let's grade these NBA tattoos.
Okay.
First up,
Audible.
we got Mulberry Star. God,
Listen,
on the dome.
This is an A. And I don't care what anybody says. Having your own logo tattooed into the side of your head, free promotion for life. Okay. And also, as somebody who used to wear these shoes, that's hard.
You know what makes it great? I'll go A just because he paired it with the baldy. Like he went all in. Iconic look with the logo smacking the dab of where you're gonna look. Like it's such a swing that could have very easily been a miss.
Yeah, it could have been bad. The tattoo is great too. Tattoos back then were all so poor. But if he was in the NBA today, the NBA would literally have him put a fat ass bandage on his head.
Oh yeah, like
and that'd just be
yeah.
so bad.
Adam Silver would have had him put in prison.
Yeah, exactly.
Listen, this tattoo is so unhinged, but there's nothing else that you can expect from a man who eats Vaseline. So yes, I love this.
So is this A?
Yeah, no, it's an easy A.
Sure.
It's easy A. It's no
I love
question.
it. This is A. Yeah, this is a great tattoo. What's next? Oh, next up, we got Mike Muscala's Mario tattoo on the side of his shoulder.
Listen, I don't know what history this man has with Super Mario, but as far as Super Mario tattoos go, that's pretty high quality.
This is hard as hell, man. This is so creative.
Listen, if
That
it
placement
was
is genius.
listen, if it was like a star player, I would probably give it an A. But this is Mike Muscala. This is a C. Like, it's just weird.
That's crazy slander. This tattoo sucks because he's a role player.
You do. You go to the greatest lengths to hate on him. You finna pull up his current average like
buckets,
what?
man.
6 points?
Get
I love him.
buckets.
You got the Muscala tax is crazy.
I don't like it.
Being real, this is a solid B, bro. Maybe
Nah,
if
it's
he
cool.
was good, I guess Donovan, he might be an A.
Nah, it's cool.
but
It's cool.
This is a B.
Listen, you get your 3-point percentage above 40% consistently, maybe I'll give you a B tier tattoo.
Damn. So we going C?
Maybe.
No.
Damn. C.
What is it? C? B? I don't care.
I guess you going C.
I don't care. I don't play Mario like that.
Next.
Oh, next we got
Which
Wilson
one?
Chandler's tattoo of his daughter on his throat.
That's a crazy placement for a tattoo. Do you know how much that must fucking hurt to get a tattoo on your Adam's apple? You gotta love the shit out of your child. This is an A for pure dedication.
I would never
That's-
do that for my child. I'm never getting my neck tattoo for my child. That's not happening.
I'm not getting my Adam's tattoo. I'm not getting my Adam's apple tattoo for anybody.
Yeah, nah, man.
It has to be an A
either.
just
That's
for the
insane.
dedication, though.
100%. Like
Yeah.
that's he went through pain for his daughter. This man is the best dad of the year.
Yeah, best dad of the year, but man, I just couldn't do it. Couldn't be me. Yeah, what do you want to put this?
It's an A, but like, bro, just put your daughter on your screensaver. Like, you didn't have to go through it. This is unnecessary.
Is it that
Get
hard?
a scrapbook.
You're
Try
right.
No facts.
Hey, it is. He's
Relax.
a family man. Can't hate. What's
All right, next up.
Next up, we got. Next up, we got Stevenson's $5 neck. $5 neck tattoo.
Nah, I'm not gonna say what I want to say.
Back to back Adam's apple? He got Abe Lincoln in his throat?
Yeah. That is a crazy statement. With the double
What?
fives, I just do not understand the logic, man. I do not understand the logic. He thought that was he thought he's the hardest motherfucker to hit the streets since he got that tattoo. It's not the truth, man. That is F.
I'm
That's the first
astounded.
This looks
First
like
F.
it looks Photoshop. This looks like something that you would put on a bad mixtape album cover.
Facts. Is that 2 Chainz cover?
I can't believe this. Nah.
This looks like that meme of the guy going no regrets with a bad tattoo on his neck.
Ew.
It looks like he's playing in a practical joke on us.
Yeah, nah, man. This is sad.
But this is just his life.
It's on his
Tough.
neck for the rest of his life. He's cooked when he's 80, bro. It's done for. Can you imagine having a saggy Abe?
He's done
Lincoln
for
on your
now.
throat? Yeah.
Abe Lincoln.
Yeah, I'm giving this a D.
Put this an F.
I'm giving this.
I'm giving this an F.
I'm giving it a D for dumb.
D for dumb. I'm with it. Let's do it. What's next? Next up, we got J.R. Smith's swish tattoo right under his chin. I didn't even know this existed.
You're worried about Swish. Why does he have a Young Money tattoo on his throat? What is up with all these throat tattoos?
Were you not a fan of Young Money?
Yeah,
not that much.
Listen.
You didn't believe in Wheezy? You're terrible.
Listen, I like Lil Twist back in the day as much as anybody, but I'm not going to get it on my throat.
Yeah. This will be better if it wasn't multicolored like this. There's no consistency.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
Like,
a little wild.
Let's call a spade a spade. This is an awful tattoo. Whoever did this is a criminal.
No, it's terrible. It's terrible. This is an F.
Truly abhorrent. This is disgusting. They should be imprisoned.
Of course.
Okay.
It's a prison
F
tattoo.
It is. F it is. What's next?
Next up.
Is that it?
That's the end of it?
Oh,
Okay, that's all of them.
Ah.
There we go.
Great. What a way to end it with just the worst tattoo I've ever seen. This is diabolical.
Kinda eye cancer right now. Damn.
I'm kind of having a bad night now. Like, I wish you didn't show me this.
Yeah. Can we?
Anyways, if people are still here, what should they comment? Mo, you decide this time.
What was the highlight of this?
Actually.
You
Sorry.
got it.
Last time we did this, we used this opportunity to slander Nikhil. Nikhil, why don't you unmute and tell us what the people should comment?
Yeah.
It's your moment. Hop on the main stage. What should people comment?
What are we doing?
Y'all really putting me on the spot here.
The lights are too bright. Turn off the lights. Turn off the lights. Prove me wrong, Nikhil.
Nah,
Boo!
I got it. Comment, shout out Lincoln
Shout out
Lincoln.
for Abraham Lincoln.
Shout out Abraham Lincoln. We're paying homage to Abraham Lincoln in the comments today.
Yeah. Gross. Ew.
Yeah. I don't like
Okay, I wasn't taking somewhere crazier than that, but let's just end it there.
That's what I was
Yeah.
thinking that we were gonna do. But I'm like, let's calm down for today.
Yeah.
Shout out Abraham Lincoln. If you know, you know. We'll see y'all later.